Good evening, everyone. If this is your first time to Tottenham Away, welcome. Great to have you watching us tonight. Please like and subscribe. If you are returning, welcome back. Also great to have you as well. Looking forward to your comments during the show. The best place to be on a Monday night if you're a Spurs fan, Tottenham Away. Got 100 people waiting already. This is going to be a massive show. We've got so much to cover. We've got to talk about the match yesterday. We've got to talk about the substitutions, the players that didn't want to come back on the pitch, the sacking of Stellini, the appointment of Mason, what's going on with Pochettino, and so much more. My God, this is going to be major. Let's go.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tottenham Away. 150 people watching. We've only just begun. I can feel it in my blood. This is going to be a cracking show. Thank you for joining us. So much love and respect. As I said already, guys, tonight there's so much we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the pre-match matters. We're going to talk about the starting lineups, the abundance of goals that were scored, all against us pretty much. Pape Sarr, Hugo Lloris, Conte, Levy, what the journalists are saying, Stellini, Mason, Pochettino, the protests. There's a lot to get through tonight. And we're going to try and bring a bit of humour as well. Otherwise, we're going to end up not wanting to be here anymore if we don't have a bit of fun. But listen, Iggy, Lee, before we say hello to everyone in the comments and I say hello to you guys, I just want to quickly say this. I've supported Tottenham now for 30 odd years. I think I started supporting a team when I was 9 or 10. And I was there when we got spanked by Bayern Munich 7-2. I was there when we lost to Man City 4-3 in the FA Cup when we were 3-0 up and they got a man sent off and came back. I was there on that famous It's Only Tottenham lads when we were 3-0 up against Man United and they came back to beat us 5-3. I've seen some stinkers. I've seen some god-awful players. And I've experienced the absolute worst of Tottenham. And I've experienced some really great moments as well. I've got to say, that game yesterday, I'm not exaggerating, that was the absolute lowest level I've ever seen. An Arsenal fan messaged me and said to me, Stelios, I love your show, love the guys on the show. I watch you every week. Was yesterday worse than the 5-0 drubbing when Brendan Rodgers' Liverpool came to Tottenham and spanked you? And I said, no, yesterday was worse. Because the game was over in 8 minutes and it was 5-0 in 20 minutes. That was a 90-minute shit show. This was curtains in 20. I've never seen such a poor, gutless, weak, uninterested, I've checked out, don't want to be at Tottenham game of football ever. Yesterday was horrendous. And I was literally going parabolic. And then I calmed down. From 25 minutes onwards, I was just joking around. I thought, I literally have now given up. I've genuinely given up. I couldn't care less what happens to this club. Iggy, where do you even want to start with this? How do you want to open the show? What do you want to say? I'm lost for words, exactly. Spot on.
Listen, I'll say what I said to you guys just before we came on here. We came on live, and I said it in this morning's video, and I've got no thing through it. I switched off straight after the 8 minutes. Was it 3-0 down within a matter of moments? I switched off. I knew. I'll level with you. From the moment I saw the starting lineup and I saw that we was going to a back four with the players that we was going back four, I knew then in that moment, I thought, you know what, this looks like we're going to be in trouble today with that back four. Dyer, Porro, Perisic. I thought, what a game to try back four away. See that still. What a game to try back four I thought this spells trouble. But let's see what happens. But you know what? You cannot even talk about a back four, a back five when the game is done within 8 minutes. That's no longer to do with tactics. It's no longer to do with anything. That's a game that's over in 8 minutes. That means, guys, that this team has not turned up at Newcastle, has not turned up in the change rooms, has not turned up as soon as they come out of the tunnel, crossing the white line, going onto the pitch. They've not done any of that. That team has not present whatsoever. What followed? I mean, this we can chat about this during the stream, but do you know what? It is just listen. I'm lost. I'm lost. From the moment the whistle blew, the game was over, and it has been a few years. Not even Sunday League level. Not even Sunday League football. You've seen games over within 7-8 minutes, let alone at this elite level. I mean, we'll break it down, I'm sure, but there was nothing there, was there? There's nothing really to say from what the first few minutes of the game was, and then obviously what followed was even worse. So. I honestly, I can't be angry. I can't be angry anymore. I'm past that. I'm past the anger. I'm past because for me, this since post Southampton, for me, it was done. And can I say something else? One last thing on this. Those players that were obviously, the truth bombs that were dropped after the Southampton game. How much of it was How much was going through your head? What Conte said in the post-match whilst you was watching that game? Firstly, secondly, those players since post Southampton that he dropped truth bombs against. How many of those players since have tried to say what Conte said was absolute rubbish, and how much of it was actually being confirmed? And talking of confirmed, how many of these players right now would you confirm for next season? What have they done since that Southampton game to warrant a place in next season's squad? Because right now, man, you might as well just close the door and leave. Honestly, just close the. Sometimes you just close the shop and just leave, man. Leave the keys at the door and just walk away. That's where we're at with it.
Before I come to Lee Ashmatic, I'm just going to say hello to everyone in the comments now, because otherwise we're going to be doing it for about 15 minutes. I'll do it now, then I can come to Lee Ashmatic, and then we'll really get into everything that's going on and happened yesterday. Steve, big up for the super chat. English football is full of clowns like Levy. Just want to say thank you to new members, Grandpa, Martin O'Connor, and Shaquille. Big up to you guys. If you want a membership, it's on the homepage. Just click join and off you go. Big up to Mr. Post Office, as always. We've got Richie in the house. We've got Da Boy, Amit, Zach, SVR Rog, Top G114, Rob Belcher. Big up, my man. Ariel, Alan Sibley, 10-inch Kingpin. There he is. The Benjamin. Big up to John George. We've got David Clark. How you doing? Bring it, boy. Zach, Robert, Paul. And guys, I'm rushing through it tonight because there's so much I've got to get through with the guys. And I know you guys want to hear it as well. JD Hogg, big up. We've got Danny. We've got Henry Thong. How you doing, Henry Thong? Jason, how you doing? Apocalypse in the building as well. Oops, did I miss one? There he is. We've got Daniel as well. Stixie, how you doing, Dean? Yeah, I know it's a shit show, brother. I know. We've got Stuart. We've got Rathish. LA007. Seb. My internet's slow, I think. We've got Danny. Anthony. David P. We've got Vapeware 2.0. Who have I missed? Spurred on. Ant, how you doing, Ant? I hope you're doing well. Mark Cousins, how you doing, my man? I hope you're good. We've got Darren, Andrew, we've got BB, Just Fly. Oops, no, wrong one. There's Just Fly. We've got TTID, and I think that is everyone. Or have I missed anyone? We've got Stuart. No. Guys, listen, do you know what? There's too many. There's too many. Listen, hello to everyone. If I've missed you, I'm sorry. I don't mean
Marcus,
to miss
Danny, Top G. Yeah, that's all of them. That's all of them up to now. JD.
There's a lot more. I'm just scrolling down. I just can't keep up with it. And
Graham's in the
also,
house.
finally, Graham in the house, big as well. Super chat from Chris Moulin. Protest outside Chicken Thursday. Guys, we're going to tell you about the protest right towards the end of the show. But listen, sorry if I've missed your name out. I haven't done it on purpose. There's just way too many people. 300 people watching. We've only been live 10 minutes.
Big up, everyone.
People need therapy. People need therapy. Lee, look, we're going to get into everything that's happened bit by bit, but just your initial thoughts, feelings. Where are you at as a Spurs fan?
Let me tell you a little story, Stel. 11 o'clock on Sunday morning, I was stood in front of 10 8-year-olds giving them a speech. And I said to them, remember, boys, I don't care what happens today, what the score is, just go out there and have fun and give it your absolute all. Our boys went down to 1-0 after 5 minutes. And the rest of the game, those boys put 150% into trying to get an equaliser. Unfortunately, we didn't. We had about 70% of the possession, but they had basically a fantastic goalkeeper, an 8-year-old goalkeeper who was diving all over the place. It was absolutely fantastic. I don't care that we didn't score. I don't care that we lost, because every single one of those boys that I put on that pitch came off there upset and emotional because they hadn't managed to score a goal. That is just all I ask of these boys. That's all I ask of them. I then got home, sat down and watched a team who get paid millions of pounds a year in their houses. I thought, do you know what? My 8-year-old boys showed more passion this morning than any single player on that pitch. And even though I watched the game from minute 1 to minute 90, never wanted to turn it off, there was only about 30 seconds of passion on that pitch, or even kind of any kind of, wanting to get into the game. And that was when Kane scored that goal. The rest of it, I didn't recognise any player on that pitch. And you know what the biggest thing for me is 24 hours later is that apart from the Hugo release interview afterwards, not one single player has made any kind of comment about that performance. And I haven't seen it. Apologies if they have come out now. I don't follow everyone on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. But my God. What can you say? When you've lost your heart and you've lost your passion, doesn't matter what you do, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Ashmatic, I saw you on a couple of channels yesterday, today. Like just as a Spurs fan, where are you at? Where do you sit now?
I'm gonna address it, but I've realised I've got to do something, so I'm gonna say what I need to say, and I'm gonna shoot off when I'm gonna come back. But basically, if this isn't rock bottom, I don't know what is. As a Spurs fan, like, embarrassment is beyond embarrassment. That's what it is for me. And obviously, we watch our team, we support them, we watch them every week, and we try to get behind them and expect a certain level of commitment and passion. And we didn't see anything of that. We didn't see anything of that nature on Sunday. We didn't see any players, any leadership, anyone. I think a lot of players were hiding. That's what I thought. A lot of players were hiding behind each other, and not one of them could hold their head up high and say, you know what, I tried my best. I tried my very best, and this wasn't good enough. Maybe Kane, some people might argue, but as a Spurs fan, you could just see the difference, the gulf and difference between Newcastle and Tottenham as a club, and also on the actual football pitch itself. You could just see, the commentators were saying it. One looks like a Champions League team, and the other one looks miles off it. And I think you're seeing the power shift finally moving. And that's really what should scare all Spurs fans, to think, where are we going to be next season? Because there's so many other teams coming up that are right behind us, that are moving away from us. We don't know what we are, what we want to be. We have no identity. We can't say we're this style of the team or we play a certain way. I don't think the players even understand what type of team they are or who they are or what type of system or what their ambitions are. I just think it's all muddled all the way from the top, all the way to the bottom. I don't think the top know what they want to do. That the fact that they kept the backroom staff around and they got rid of the main man just shows a lack of football IQ. And it was a lack of football IQ on the actual pitch. The way Newcastle moved as a unit and pressed us in 2s, 3s, and 4s, and the way they got back when they lost the ball and held their shape and was in a line of 4 when they lost the ball, they looked so much more cohesively together. And I think it was just an array of things. But as I said, the leadership is crazy. There's none. And before I go, I just want to talk about Newcastle in isolation. There was one goal where the balls come into Sarr. You know, Sarr's new in the team's his first start. And it's a ball from Skip. It's coming to Sarr. And then Sarr's passes it into Højbjerg. Now, Højbjerg has so many options. He can pass it back into Sarr. He can pass it out wide to Perry. Or he can go long if he wants. What he does is he passes it back to Dyer. He does a negative pass. He goes hiding. Passes it into Dyer because he doesn't want the responsibility because they're pressing him. He doesn't like it. And I've seen it all season. As soon as they give it to Dyer, Dyer's passed it into Son. Son hasn't got the strength for that position. Loses the ball. It breaks to Murphy. Murphy hits it top corner. Can't believe it. And his face looks like Elmo. Have you seen what my Tommy Elmo? He goes, that. That's what he looked like. He looked like Tickle Me Elmo when he scored that when that ball hit top bins. And that just epitomizes our season as a whole, man. We just don't look like we know what we're doing. We just don't know where we're going. We look directionless. And yeah, that's it, really. And yeah, like it's been happening since, I'd say from the league exit, from Nottingham Forest, all the way to the FA Cup exit, all the way to the Champions League exit, all the way into Everton, Southampton, Brighton, Bournemouth. I could go on, but it's just been the capitulation. What more can I say? We're not even performing well. But yeah, guys, I got to shoot. I'm gonna come back. I just got to handle something real quick. But yeah, big you guys up, and yeah, we'll talk more. We're gonna talk more.
No worries.
Nicely put. Nicely put. Come back whenever you're ready to come, man. No worries.
Yeah, I'll come back.
Thanks, Mate. All right.
Just 2 seconds. So guys, I'm going to try and get as many comments up as possible, but as you can understand, there's so many coming in thick and fast. And secondly, guys, I don't mind you all disagreeing or agreeing with a comment or something that someone says. No problem. Have it out. No problem. But just do it within the respect, and just do it with respect and not going at it in a disrespectful manner. But other than that, a good debate is always
just don't try and kill each other.
Yeah, not in the chat. We don't want that.
All right, listen, let's get into it. We woke up yesterday, did what we did, then got in front of the TV, ready to watch the football, right? I'm going to start off with a bit of fun, because if we go in serious, it's just going to get depressing, because it wasn't a good day. Today was worse. But I'm watching the pre-match interviews on Sky Sports, and I see this, right? So I just want a quick question. What is Danny Rose wearing? What is his outfit? I was watching it and I'm thinking, he looks like someone that works on the Death Star, that works for Darth Vader.
Yeah, he does. I can't even come up with a funny comment. I'm stoked.
I don't know, man. He's somewhere between, punditry and a backing dancing at a concert or something. No idea.
Someone, I asked the same question yesterday, and someone said he looks like what do you call it? Eastern European YMCA Army General.
Thunderbirds, village people.
But he wore this outfit the whole show, and I thought, do you know what, man? You've got some crazy style. It's just It just, it just stands out, and you're watching, and you're trying to take what the guy's saying seriously, but you're like, "What are you wearing, man? Like, what?" Maybe I'm just too old. I don't get the fashion of today. I don't know. Anyway, jokes aside, we had a starting lineup that looked like this. So it was Lloris in goal, Pedro Porro playing right back, Romero Dier centre back, Perisic left back, went with a 3-man midfield, Højbjerg, Sarr, Skip, Sarr playing the holding mid, Kulu, Kane, Son of front three. So we went with a 4-3-3. I thought it was 3-4-3, and we were playing Romero Dier and Pape Sarr as a back three. So when I first saw this, I thought to myself, well, why would you start Pape Sarr in a back three? You've got Tanganga and Sanchez there who are actually centre backs. Longley was on the bench as well. So whether they're good players or not, don't start putting square pegs into round holes. But then as the game started, it was actually a back four. So then literally 1 minute before kickoff, I was doing a live watch along with Strasbourg Steve, Newcastle fan. I said to him, Dier cannot play in a back three, let alone a back two. Like, having Dier in a back two is shocking. Rose has more money than all of you put together and half your age.
Chill out,
good, you
chill
keep
out,
mocking
man.
him. Leon, if you can't take banter, find another channel. This isn't for you. You won't like Tottenham away. And he's playing. Listen, people get sensitive.
It's like no one.
Listen, I thought what he was wearing looked fucking hilarious, man. I'll say it again. By the way, a back two of Dier and Romero, and I thought, hold on, on Friday and last Monday, I'm pretty sure I brought up the question of, can Spurs play with a back four given the injuries? So Emerson Royal, Ben Davies, probably the only two players that can actually defend. I'm not saying they're great, but they're not good at going forward, but they're better at defending. When you've got Porro and Perisic who can't defend well, but they're better at going forward, they're proper wing backs or attacking players, should I say, on the wide areas. And I remember asking this question, and we were discussing whether or not you could play with the back four. So when I was going with it, I thought, we've had this chat. This isn't good. And we brought it up weeks before, and it's come up again. And I remember being one of the fans that was arguing when people were saying, oh, Conte's stubborn, he doesn't change it, he's not flexible. And I remember saying, you can't do it. I don't believe you can do it with these players. And it used to go back and forth with fans arguing over Conte's tactic. Okay, he changed it up. We went with a back four.
You proved me wrong. I was one of them. I said, I think we should change it. I think we should do something slightly different. And I said, maybe try a back four or something like that, just to freshen things up. And I listened to the comments that you guys said. I listened to the reasons why. And as soon as I saw that lineup, I thought straight away, they're going to prove me right here. You're going to prove me right. I said no, change it. And then I thought, you know what made it for me? As soon as I saw Perisic at left back and Longley on the bench, I was like, well, that's it. Even if you're going to try it, you don't put Perisic at left back. It's just never going to work. So I hold my hands up. It didn't work.
If we'd had
Royale and if we had Royale and we had Ben Davies, I would have had a different outlook because they are defensively minded players.
And a centre-back partnership of Longley and Romero. If it was Davies, Longley, Romero, Emerson Royal, I'd say, okay, let's give it a go. But with the players that are injured, I thought this is going to be bad. And if you go back and watch the watch-along yesterday, 1 minute before kickoff, I was stressing. I was saying, this isn't good. Pape Sarr holding mid as well worried me because, again, you're going to start a young kid at Newcastle away. This is not the time to be doing these things. There's too much change. Anyway, look, when you saw the starting lineup, what did you make of it? I was worried.
Give him a bit more credit.
Genuinely worried.
He worked in he was at the World Cup, right? At the biggest stage in the world for football. He had a really, really good World Cup. Give him a little bit more credit. He needs a bit more game time, but he has done it on the world stage. So
Lee, I just don't think yesterday was the moment.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't a moment.
Lee, do you know what it was for me? Iggy, I'll let you come in straight after this because I just want to respond to that. For me, starting Pape Sarr, I didn't have an issue with. My issue was with the changes to the back four and changing the midfield. I thought this is too much change.
Too
We're
much
gonna have
responsibility for him.
That
Because
too.
you know what's
And you
going to
saw it.
happen. You know what's going to happen
There was
with
just-
him, and that's why it's not the right time to start him there.
We had games against
Go for it.
Bournemouth. We had games against Everton. We had games against Brighton. We had games, we had so many ample opportunities to perhaps try the back four. No problem, guys. I don't know if when a manager wants to try something new, I think we would have been okay with it, But first of all, you have to know the moment. You have to know the players that you have at your disposal. You have to know you cannot think in any way possible, given the moment like we just said, and given that we're on the back of a few defeats here, to go to Newcastle where they're smelling blood, given your performances, I think this is the time right now to bring Papa Sarr, who hadn't played since that Southampton game where it was disastrous for reasons that we know, to try a back four when you've got two of your centre backs, Davis and Longley, not available, or certainly not 100% fit. To not bring in Sanchez, to not perhaps go with a four at the back, perhaps going with Tanganga at left back, who has played there in previous games. But then again, you're bringing him out of he's out of the project. For now, he's not even involved in the squad. Certainly not in a starting manner. So Sanchez was, from last week's disaster. So you're given all these situations. Why would you attempt to go to Newcastle to start a back four with those interpreters to bring in Sarr out of in the starting lineup?
No idea.
It is, and obviously, and even a Kulusevski now that you got to look at as well. Is what's going on there? But there's so many reasons to have not done it. Then ones to do it. It wasn't the time, especially when you got, like you said, Longley wasn't in the starting 11. No, nor was Davis. Why would you attempt that? Start back four when you got Davis available, at least. So you can say, all right, you got Dyer, you got Romero, you got Davis at left back, and Porro on the right. Then perhaps I would have understood it a little bit more. But to do it when two of your centre backs who've been playing all season are out, and this is now the time you're going to do it. For what? Because you want to go 3 versus 3 in midfield with 3 defensive midfielders. Where's the creativity going to come from? You're not going to get it from the wide areas because they're both now playing fullbacks. You're not going to get it from the midfield because you're playing 3 DMs. What? It was beyond rational thinking. But I'm also convinced, given the naivety of the two people that were, they're running the team, given the pressures they would have had, absolutely lack of clarity from they obviously, listen, the job was too much. We said it from the moment that they were given that role. I don't blame Stellini. To this day, I say I'm consistent with what I've said. I will not blame Stellini, and certainly I'm not going to blame Mason moving forwards. For me, even Mason now, I mean, the only reaction he will get perhaps is as if he's got a group in that. I mean, we had a fucking players committee here. There's a players committee that we have to talk about that, by the way. Then, unless those guys have all said, you know what, get rid of Stellini, get Mason in charge, and then maybe perhaps they might put some performances in for them. But again, it might be a little bounce, but ultimately we're going to end the season the same way we've done that. Nothing's going to change in that sense. And so, unless we decided to try something knowing fully well we was going to lose against Newcastle, let's see if perhaps there is some element of positivity comes out of this 4-3-3 that we can take perhaps in the weeks to come. But nothing. It was just disastrous from the moment we went out. And maybe, sorry, so just to conclude, maybe the players themselves, seeing that, weren't happy with that change, didn't want that change, didn't agree with it. And maybe there was arguments even before the game even started, because I cannot explain to myself how we have not even started that match, how we've gone 5-0 down within 20 minutes. It is beyond comprehension. That team did not go out there fully convinced of what was happening with anything really.
He should have reacted quicker as well. I think after 3-0 we should have made the changes, not left it till 5. That made no sense whatsoever.
The game was done. There was just a damage limitation. Put Sanchez on, take Sarr off, and then see if we can get the next 15, 20 minutes to see if there's some sort. Just put a handbrake on it, just to say, whoa, let's just like go 10, 15 minutes.
Do you guys agree? Because I mean, as I say, I watched it. After the 5 goals, we went to a back 3. The rest of the match, for me, was a 1-1 match. So people saying you can't blame the formation. I'm sorry, it's fact. The formation didn't work. It let in goals. As soon as we went back to what we knew, it was a slightly different game. We quietened them down, and it went back to more like a.
There was an element of that.
The passion wasn't there.
Yeah,
there was an element of that. But
there was an element of that. There was an element of the fact that the game was
formation,
over.
players,
game was, and also you're right.
Everything. It's all a combination of the whole lot. Everything came together and died yesterday.
Newcastle, I think, took their foot off the gas a bit second half as well. And I also think when you look at the substitution Newcastle made second half, they start bringing on kids. They just like, let's just rest players now for the next game. So when you saw Newcastle's starting lineup, in fact, let me bring up Newcastle's starting lineup. When you saw Newcastle's starting lineup, okay, so they went with a 4-3-3 as well. So if anything, we tried to go toe-to-toe with them. They had Pope in goal, Trippier, Shaw, Botman at centre-back, Dan Burn played, Guimaraes, Longstaff, Willock, Murphy, Joe Linton, Ishak. When you look at their midfield 3, which was Willock, Guimaraes, and was it Dan Burn? No, Murphy. When you saw that, did you think that they had a better midfield 3? We had Pape, Sarr, Højbjerg, and Skip. I think their midfield 3 are better. What did you make of it? And also their front 3, they had Joe Linton, Ishak, and was it Willock or Murphy? I can't remember. But I thought that their front 3 was more informed than us, except for Kane. I think our front 3 are better, but Kane, but theirs was more informed. But midfield, I thought theirs was better anyway. Do you think it was wise going toe to toe with them? What did you make of their starting 11?
Me personally, listen, forget all of that still. Forget that. We were just going up against a team where we're absolutely
Should we forget
flying.
that?
No, forget it, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but they just lost 3-0 to Aston Villa. They just got battered by Aston Villa.
Yeah, but that's just a one-off game. You've got to look at the team, how they've been playing.
They were beaten well.
Aston Villa away. Wait till we go there. But you got to look at it and say,
wait till we. Yeah, all right, fair enough.
You got to look at Newcastle, a team that doesn't concede a lot of goals, a team that recently has started scoring goals for fun. That was something that was a problem for them, but then recently that hasn't been. You're looking at them; they have the same momentum right now that we had this time last year. Fact. They're absolutely flying. They're going for that European spots. There's an absolute buzz about the place. You can sense it from the moment they've walked out. You see the flags. You see away the lads. You see this. All of that was going on. You're thinking, my God, this is going to be a long ass afternoon. You felt that straight away. What you hadn't anticipated.
Did you see the granny running through the terraces with the Newcastle flag?
This is what I'm saying.
They were like patting her, like, "Hey, go on!" She's like, "Hey."
Their place was absolutely buzzing. What we hadn't anticipated is us not turning up. But still, besides the formation, the starting lineup, the team form, and everything else, the bottom line is that if you do not show hunger, fight, togetherness, even knowing fully well that you're going to go for a 15, 20-minute spell where you absolutely get peppered, some sort of level of resistance and togetherness, you're going to get pulled apart. When we got pulled apart because there was none of that. From minute 0, there was none of that. What game are you hoping to win when you don't have the fundamentals? Within you don't have the fundamentals to even start a game of football, let alone how can you get into formation, players, tactics? You can't get it. The game was over in 8 minutes. What tactics did they deploy and we deployed for that game to be over in 8 minutes? None, man. So how can you analyze that game when it was over in 8 minutes? What breakdown can we do? That's why I'm like,
well, listen,
there's not really much to talk about on the level of the game.
Let's go through it. Right? Let's go through it. I've looked at all the goals. I've done my basic analysis that I do. Can't really go into too much depth when you have video footage, but let's go by goal, right? This is what I saw. We can talk about it. So the first goal, Linton gets the ball, edge of the box. He's circled in blue. And I circled 3 defenders, Spurs defenders. I've put red circles around them. And I'm thinking, right, 2 of you are close enough to intercept. 1 of you, Højbjerg, edge of the box, you're seeing that potentially he might come across to you. So you've got to anticipate the danger and start closing down. Literally 2 seconds later, this is the situation we're in. He's gone past 2 and Højbjerg's on the other side. And I'm like, hold on a minute. How has he just walked? And he did. He didn't have to use any skill to go past any player. He's walked past 2 of you and there's still 3 around you and he gets the shot away. And then the rest is history. The ball gets parried. Perisic falls asleep back post and it's almost a tap-in. So you look at this, you think, right, this is dangerous, but we shouldn't panic. We're in control. We've got a 3-on-1. And we end up here. Nobody puts a tackle in. We've discussed this so many times. Listen, I don't know what to say. Defenders don't want to tackle.
Taken away from that, though, and just rewinding back a few seconds, do you believe in the build-up to that, though, that we should have had a foul on Sarr? Because there was no contact on the ball from the Newcastle player, and he's obviously hit him in the shins when Sarr got the ball. Why that wasn't called, I don't know, because that led to the overturn, which led to that goal.
You're right.
Confused about that bit, free kick. But not taken away from what you're saying, because it's diabolical.
You're right. It should have been a free kick, Lee. You're right. It should have been, yeah.
The moment he cuts in, whoever's at the edge of that D should be absolutely like the way they've shaped it. They want him to come on the inside. They want him to come on the inside because that's where you got most of your players there. It's really weird. You got some managers who says let him go on the outside. You got other managers says no, don't let him go on the outside. Let him come inside because then you got the midfielders that can really shut that route where he's gonna execute a shot. And here you got a player there, the edge of the box, who once he's cut in, he hasn't closed it down. You got Dyer and Perisic. They should be squeezing that up because he can only go for a shot. He can't play the through ball. See there, right? Joelinton goes right. You see there's a player at the edge of the box.
Dyer's marking Ishak. Dyer's on the penalty spot marking Ishak.
Right.
You got Højbjerg edge of the box, and then you got Pedro Porro.
Yeah,
Pedro Porro and Romero are marking the Linton on the ball.
The guy on the D, I think it might be Højbjerg. Once he's gone on the inside, he's got Kane. Why does Dyer and Perisic go even further back? You'll see it on the second photo. You see here. So look,
they're marking players, aren't they?
Yeah, but look at but if they squeeze up, they can only parry the shot. Once that Dyer and Perisic, everyone will be offside in that moment. Højbjerg, what he's done, he hasn't gone there to stop the ball. He's actually gone in
Dyer
in the face.
Play an offside trap with his brain.
No, I'm saying to once the guy's cut in, he's going to take a shot. For them to all really squeeze to try and put as many bodies on the line as possible.
Not with Dyer. Dyer always is the last one to push up. He's always the last one to push up.
Once you've gone up, he can only go for a shot. If he plays it in, everyone's offside. So I don't know, man. I just, you know what? There's so many basics there that is everything's so wrong. Everything's just so wrong. All the basic. We get so many men behind the ball there in that situation, but we never seem to have enough. There's never.
You saw it again yesterday, though, Iggy. There was so even some of the points where you're. I mean, let's take the right. Let's just take for instance the Man United Brighton game yesterday, right? I was looking at it and going, people are going, "Oh, Brighton, great! They're doing this, they're doing that, they're controlling the ball, that kind of thing." And I was thinking, well, yeah, because Man United just sat off them. They barely pressured them whatsoever, so sure they're going to have plenty of the ball. But what they did do, they had one person in Bruno that basically was running around that pitch like a gnat. He was just trying to do what the other guys weren't. But what we seemed to do yesterday, again, Højbjerg, again, one of the worst people at doing this, he seems to have gone from someone that will put a tackle in to someone that will just back off. until he turns around. He's in row one of the stands. He doesn't seem to want to put a tackle anymore. It's like he's completely lost the ability to make a tackle, and everyone keeps backing off. No one seems to want to put a foot in. Now, whether they've been told, be careful, give him fouls away, stuff like that. Yeah, in your box, I get that. Outside the box, put a pissing tackle in. It's as simple as that. And it's just, that's what's painful to watch. It's so painful.
It's unbelievable, Steve, because this is the fundamentals of defending is to defend, and we don't defend.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. Listen, it gets better. The second goal, right? So
it's offside. Next.
Offside, yeah. All right. Yeah. I've circled in red the back four. Okay, this is our back four line that we're playing with. I've also circled in blue where the ball is, and you can see the flight of the ball when it goes to Linton up front. Now, one ball over the top took out the entire back line. When you look at that back four, look at the shape of it. One's 10 meters higher up than Romero. Then you got Dyer in between Romero and Perisic. He's 5 meters up. You've got Pedro Porro running back, so he's been caught out of shape. And Romero obviously was further up the pitch thinking about offside. Now he's having to recover. Linton has walked between Pedro Porro and Romero. What do you want to say about that? You've got a back four shaped like that.
But there, you got no one. You got no one to call it. The thing is, you either all drop off and the fullback goes on the cover, or you, as that ball's getting played, you step up and leave him in there, man. There's not really much choices you got. But unfortunately, when you improvise, this is another thing. Yesterday we improvised. We literally improvised the back four. We put a back four together for the first time. This is not Dyer, Romero, Longley, Dyer, Romero, Davis, who have played, at least those three have played together, that can be part of a back four. This is now, we got Perisic and Porro playing fullbacks for the first time ever at this club. You got Davis and you got Romero and Dyer playing together in a back to. You don't improvise. And this ball over the top, like I'm saying, you either push up and Romero calls the offside, or you all drop and Porro needs to pick up his position way before. You can't have a situation. That's just an awful shape. Awful shape. It is insane. It's just insane. It's just the whole thing.
Just to add though, nothing can't take anything away from his control and his touch after that ball came down.
It's funny. Do you know what? Well spotted. And I'll tell you what. Sometimes you also have to say exactly what Lee said. Sometimes there's just quality involved as well. Look at the first touch, what he does. He opens his side foot. Some players would take it down on their laces. He faces the ball and opens up his side foot. When you zoom in, you can see he's opened up his side foot. Can I tell you something? This is technically quality. To take it on the side foot and then in the first touch to spin and run, you can see his foot's facing forward now. He's gone from receiving the ball side foot into the second touch, landed, kept balance and gone forward. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This is excellent technique. Absolute top draw. Lee, you're spot on. I was watching it. That's what caught my eye as well. I thought, that is one hell of a touch, man. If that was Berbatov. Yeah. That was Berbatov or Kane, we'd be going nuts. We'd say, wow, amazing. Where Linton's pulled that out the bag, I don't know. I mean, class, man. Absolutely. We got done by a bit. The ball over the top should never have been allowed to happen. But then what he did when he got it was just, I don't know, man.
What's up, my peeps?
Assist of the season. So
what's up, JP?
JP? The ball that was played into him, was it Willock? I didn't even know, but yeah, it was a great ball.
Outside of his boot.
No, that was
Willock.
that was the next. That was
the Sar goal.
Was that the next goal?
What's his name?
No, that was the fourth goal. That was the fourth goal. Listen, we'll go on to the third goal. In fact, no, JP, look, you've just joined us as we're going through the goals. Before we go on to the third goal and get more depressed of how we are incapable of playing football anymore. We're not a football team anymore, I've realised. How Where are you at? How are you feeling, JP?
Hold up. Before you go into it, big up, Alan.
Ooh, 10
Big
each.
up, Alan. Wasn't going to watch Spurs again this year and put it to the 5-1. You weren't far off, mate. Changed my mind because I thought it would be funny. They never let me down. Now, today we hear about Players Committee. Don't get me started on that for FFS, for fuck's sake. Big up, Alan. Yeah, spot on, mate. We will get into this player committee rubbish. I mean, we knew
Rubbish.
there was always a player power. We've always known that, but now it seems to be a little bit confirmed. Guys,
They've had that for a little while now, haven't they? This senior player committee.
JP, give us your first initial thoughts on what we're speaking about, and then
Thanks
we
for
will
the
get
super chat, by the way, Alan. Big up. Thank you so
Alan.
much.
Big up,
Thank you
man.
very much for the super chat, man.
I am depressed. It's just my football club. I love my football club. I support my football club. And watching those bunch of folks not even bothering the other day, it just makes you proper depressed. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know where we've gone. Every week you go, fucking hell, how can it get any worse? Bournemouth. And then we go another one. Everton, last minute. Bournemouth, bang. What else can we do? Oh, I tell you what, we'll go away. Let's try something new. 4 at the back. Let's get absolutely ripped apart. Let's play Perisic at left back because, yeah, he comes back and helps defend, doesn't he? Oh, proper. It's just one debacle after the next, right? So now we've got what? No manager, then no assistant manager. Now we've got the assistant manager. That's 3 in 1 year, right? I don't know if Tottenham's had that before, right? Something else today, another record, right? It's just fucking like, you just think it can't get worse tomorrow, but I'm sure we'll find something.
This was the season for the Amazon documentary. This was the season for the Amazon
100%.
documentary. It would have been blockbuster.
100%, especially with
They're going to make a sequel.
Like Conte there and that.
Yeah.
It's probably what he's after.
Nothing or nothing.
That'll be the next. Yeah, but that'll be the next thing. We'll sign it'll be a Netflix deal, wouldn't it?
Oh, jeez.
Nah, it's just depressing still. I'm absolutely hacked off of it, and I'm gonna go there on Thursday, and I'm gonna fucking shout my head off. It'll be Levy.
I'm going.
Levy!
I'm going to the game now. I'm going purely to protest in the stadium and just get toxic because just sacking Stellini doesn't sort anything out. But
enough's enough now, right? It's kind of got to the point. Like, I know we went through this before, and everyone's tipping point comes, and obviously our tipping point had come kind of like quite a while back. But it's just it's like I'm like over the edge now. I've gone over the cliff, and I'm still falling.
Do you know what? People are bringing up, a lot of the comments are bringing up this committee stuff, and I know
we'll discuss it after the goals. We'll bring it up. We'll do it.
We will, guys. We promise we will talk about that in due
Iggy,
course.
star it so we remember to do it. If you just put a star on it. I'll go into the third goal.
I was just gonna say, as you know, quickly, kind of like obviously you did the watch along, right? And like fair play to you and stuff. And my boy was playing.
It was
football.
more of a sing along.
Still, I did hear.
Yeah,
I
saw Strasbourg.
The Bethnal Green man. I can't remember his name now. Forgive me. I'm sure he's in the chat. He said yesterday was a bit comical. The watch along. It became like a bit of a comical show. I don't know. Like I said,
the whole thing was
switched everything off. I must admit, I did not watch anything after the third goal went in, so I apologise.
Iggy, we were 3-0 down, and the camera zoomed into the stand, and this granny was running with a Newcastle flag through the crowd. I thought, we're getting bantered here. We're getting absolutely bantered. 8 minutes. I've got to sit here for another 82 minutes doing a watch along.
There was a lot of away fans, Spurs away fans. A few left after 20 minutes, left the stadium. Imagine taking
a lot of them left.
That trip all the way up there, man. Up there. And if you guys have ever sat up in the Newcastle stand, you're right. You're up there with the gods, and to go all the way up there, it's a long trip.
They should all be refunded. Every single one of them should be refunded for that. That's unacceptable. There's going away and losing games. There's going away and just getting thumped over 90 minutes.
20 minutes, 5-0.
20 minutes, and you trap that is refund. That's refund territory. It's too much. the third goal, right? Eric Dyer passing the ball out from the back. Can I just say, I've just noticed now, look at the distance between Dyer and Romero. The two centre backs should never be 20 metres apart like that. I've just spotted it now.
Where's the left back?
Well, right. Look at the shape.
You can just
right?
about see him by the P. Look,
Castori, yeah.
But you know what? Why not offload to the keeper there? If there's nothing why not offload?
Let me show you. Let me show you what I've seen, and you guys, by all means, jump in, right? So Dyer tries to play the ball on the ground to Heung-min Son. So red circle to red circle. Heung-min Son is the only Spurs player being marked by 2. Look around. So Dyer's brain says, I know, I'll pass it to the one blue shirt that's marked by 2. They immediately press him and attack us. What Dyer should have done is this. There's your pass. Number 1 to Porro. Porro first touch to Romero, and we can begin to build it up. It's that simple.
Even
Or
to
to skip.
Yeah, but do you know what?
Skip slightly harder, but listen, JP, he's made the hardest pass, killed Son, when there's a simple 1-2. When people talk about patterns of play, that's a pattern of play. You practice that. You tuck
2,
in
5, 3.
1-2. You would practice that play. And if you do that in training and then you pull it off in a match, that is what patterns of play are. There's no patterns of play. And I can tell because you wouldn't pass the ball to Son. And then what happens?
That's what I'm going to sing.
And then what happens? They win the ball. And look at this. This kills me, though. This kills me. This is Murphy's long-range shot. If you look at number 23, if you look at Porro, Pape Sarr, and Højbjerg, all 3 of them are doing one thing in common. They're all running towards our goal. And they're all facing our goal. Not one of them has turned.
No one squeezes.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody.
Look at the direction they're running. Look at the direction they're all running.
We're dropping in the area. What for? Because even there, yeah, Murphy doesn't take a shot. Murphy's taking a shot, but he can actually play it through to the striker because he's been kept on by the this is what I was saying about the Joe Linton goal. This one, nobody always squeeze, like no one like squeezes. It's always the first thing that we do as a defense is drop off, back off. And there, all you're doing is creating a massive picture for whoever's got on the ball. He can take a shot there. He can play it through to the forward. He can knock it out wide because the defenders are enabling him to have all these choices. And then, yeah, he's picked one out.
Iggy, it's one thing backing off. So I'm facing you and I'm backing off. It's another thing. Your body is actually, you've got your back to the player, all of them. You're literally running away. You're running away.
It's almost like he's attacking, isn't it?
The thing is, you only back off.
For the pass.
The way I see it, you only back off to the edge of the D if you're being outnumbered, then you've got to just try and like
contain. They're not backing off. They're running away.
They're literally here. There's no reason for either. It's not like there's an overload on a left or right wing. There's nothing going on. He's only got a shot on, or he's got to play it in this forward. You cut that ball out to the forward by stepping up, and you hurry the player on the ball as well. You don't allow him to make a decision. But you know what? This is just. But you know what? It's not the first time this season that's happened. It's been ongoing for a while now. These players just back off.
And then
they put their hands behind their back. They put the side on.
No, that's down to the players. That's on the players.
You have to do that now.
No coach tells the players
that's not
run
on
away.
Stellini in any way
No
whatsoever.
one says run away.
That's just them, right? And I'm sick of Spurs. Yes, Claude.
Lee, when you see, I'm laughing as I'm looking. I was laughing as I was doing this. You know that when you see that pass being played, and you can see, I'm sure there's other passes, but that's not being played. And then you see everyone running away. Like, what do you mean?
It's Tottenham away.
Just goes back to that picture, right? We're just trying to pull out. Do you not
feel like
Son's
ahead of anyone else? There?
So which picture?
Listen, I've got go to the first picture first. I just want to say again, not excuse for what actually happened, but again, Son got bundled over there, dodgy on a foul on Son, but we'll let that one fly. Maybe just fell over. You never know what's going on with him at the moment. But if you now flip to the next picture, what's more worrying, after that ball has been played, you watch where the Newcastle players are and how many there are compared to our defenders. How quickly they move. So move to the next one.
They've got 4 on 5, and then it ends up
That
as
there.
1, 2,
Look,
3, 4,
look,
5,
there's
6
six
on
of
5.
them.
Yeah,
6
you got the
on
overload.
5.
Yeah, you're right.
And
You're
that's
right.
literally like a 10-second turnaround. That just goes to show you how much.
Oh, it was
more
5 seconds, mate. It was
I
even
want-
quicker.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
even quicker.
Hoybier's only covered
ridiculous.
2 lines there.
Perisic, where is Perisic? He's supposed to be the left back.
This is why
I
you
just-
can't play wing backs at left back or right
No,
back.
absolutely. I mean, even if that goal hadn't have gone in from that shot, I mean, and again, Lloris has got to be held accountable for that as well. He's made no effort whatsoever. Even if you're not going to get it, have a dive, son. I don't care what you do, land on your ass, whatever, but just have an attempt. But they had so many options. Even if that shot hadn't have taken place, it probably would have been a goal anyway. To be quite honest with you.
Does anyone else want to add anything to the third goal? Does anyone in the comments want to add anything to the third goal that you'd like to say? I mean, it doesn't get much. This, by the way, this.
Do you know what? Still,
this is the 8th minute. We've only got to the 8th minute of the game yet.
I know, this is painful.
Do you know
This
what?
is
Yesterday,
painful.
that's what I was saying. Yesterday, I was driving home from Alex's football. Right, I spoke to Shine just before kickoff. He phoned me about 10 minutes later, going, "You're never going to believe what's happened." I just thought, sod this. I went into Asda. I haven't watched the game. The only thing I watched was the first 20 minutes of our watch along, just to see your reaction. So I've not really seen the goals and shit.
I lost it for the first one. I lost it for the second. I stormed out on the third. The fourth, I was in tears. The fifth one, I got angry. Then I went completely sober. Like, I was just like this.
Iggy, can you go back to that last comment, 9:31, by Dill Young Days?
Dildo does asses.
Oh, good man. Like that. This isn't a story run, but all is serious. Can you coach Spurs better than Stellini? Well, Stel, you know his background. He's got coaching experience.
I can't make the players better.
No, you can't make the players better, but I coach kids as well. You don't know, no coach in the world tells any defenders or any person that boat, if someone's coming towards your goal, you run back with them. That is the player. The player has decided to do that. That shows a lack of mental understanding of the players. And I think that's the issue that's happening here, is we are, because even Stellini's come out in the last couple of weeks, or one of the other people have come out and said, when Spurs do something and then they drop deep, they've all said, we're not teaching them to do that. They're literally doing it off of their own backs. It's like a complete and utter, they just recess into this mentality that they've got to drop deep to protect something that they weren't protecting when they were further up the pitch. It's absolute madness. And that is almost one of the biggest problems, is the mentality of the players at the moment is just completely shot. They don't know what to do with themselves.
But can I ask you a question? How can that happen week in, week out? When first week I get it, second week, yeah, maybe.
They're not playing
the
for
third
him.
week,
They're
the
not
manager
playing for
still.
him.
Conte was saying this.
I can answer it.
Jose was saying this. Mourinho was saying it. I tell them not to drop back.
Player power.
Yeah,
because
they're still in
JP,
the team.
because we haven't bought the players. We've still got Dyer.
JP, I'll tell you why.
We've still got.
Don't fucking listen.
Because in I might have got this date wrong, either 2018 or 2016. Someone said earlier that we played Newcastle.
6 of them.
5 of them are from the same team. 4 of them started on the pitch.
Yep.
From all them many years ago. That shows you what the issue is. We've got
and Mason's a coach.
Been here so long.
Mason was there as well.
Yeah, Mason was there as well. And they've been there so long that they are literally got to the point
they do
where
what they want.
So yeah, exactly.
It's like literally.
I've been here long enough.
You don't have to tell me what to do. I know better. I've been at this club longer.
Alan Sibley's.
Big up to the
comments
two,
cracking.
man. You guys were brilliant yesterday. I have to say, the buzz around the place is amazing, and it's clearly a team and a club on the up with a great manager that plays great football. I have to say that.
That's
We have
quality.
to-
That's a quality comment there by Alan.
Hugo's injury was caused by him constantly bending down to get the ball out of the net. Unbelievable.
Do you know what?
Well done, sir.
He's probably not wrong, you know. It's probably not wrong.
We need to talk about our captain
But
here,
like-
man.
but like
We
you
need to
heard
talk
about all
our
the
We're
stuff
captain.
coming to it,
within
Iggy. We're
Alright,
coming
okay.
to it.
Alright.
We're coming
But
to it.
do you know what?
Let's
Coaches,
finish off the
managers,
goals.
it
Go on.
don't matter. Listen, it don't matter. Like I said, the fundamentals of any formation, players, if the attitude ain't spot on, if a team's not willing to fight from minute one, you can deploy whatever tactics you want, play whatever players you want. You ain't gonna win a match. You're not gonna win a match. You're not even gonna
Well, look,
compete, let alone winning. You're not gonna compete.
Let's go on to the last few goals quickly. So
Where's the left back?
What are we looking at here, man? What? I mean, why are you doing this? Like, let's
So,
just
no,
move on. Let's move on.
Listen,
Sure, this is not an attack.
we get
Romero sits up
criticised.
front again.
I
We
think he's
get
just broken-
criticised.
He's just broken the
Right.
offside, and he Romero.
We get criticised for talking about leaving Edict too much. I thought let's incorporate more football so no one can ever go right. Now, when I look at this, Willock, who's out
Going on?
on the left, who's at the bottom of the screen, he whips the ball round the back of our defence to the striker.
That's a
to
great
Ishak.
ball, though.
Right now, but here's the issue I've got. We're playing 4-3-3. Where's half of the floor?
We're playing
Where's half of the
two.
floor?
We're playing
Well,
2-3-5.
the furthest one out, on the red is that's Perisic. That's Perisic, Sarr, and Højbjerg in that middle three.
Skip's still legging it back. That
I
is
have no
flip-
idea where Porro
that
is.
That is flipped around the other way, isn't it? It's like the 5-3-2 reverse.
Iggy, we're playing 4-3-3, and as soon as they attack, all I can see is 2-3.
I don't even want to look at the picture.
Perisic-
I know what it is. I'm not even looking.
Perisic's
Trying my
in the
hardest to
field,
keep my
and
eyes off the
Porro's
screen.
down here. Porro's down the bottom of the screen on your right with the player there.
Look, what the fuck is this?
Maybe some of them are
Right.
wearing the green kit.
Two defenders in the toilet.
You
Are
just
those
can't see 'em.
ghosts playing 2-3-2-3?
Mate, we're all over the shop. We're all over the shop. This is actually painful to watch. We're laughing and joking, but this is fucking painful.
And here's the next screen.
Yeah,
Um,
you have to laugh, Iggy, man. It's just
I know,
otherwise,
but
you know,
it's like
it's just
so
you know, we're not winning another game this season, so sod it.
there's Perisic. You can see I told you it was in the top.
well,
the
look,
white boots.
from the fake 4-3-3. Once the ball gets round the back of the defence, what I will say is credit to him. Eric Dyer, who I've now circled in yellow, he does turn and begin to sprint back. The problem is, this is why you can't play a high with our defenders, because they haven't got the pace. And Isak roasts
Balls
him,
past him, man.
for pace. So, anything you want to add to the fourth goal?
What formation are we going to play next goal?
Can we just move away from this game?
Next
Can we
goal's
not
a
talk about this game anymore?
1-5-4, is it? Next goal?
Can we
Oh, my
not
God.
talk anymore about this game?
Got a super chat from Scorpion's
It's
Life.
football
I
talk,
fear-
Iggs. It's football
I know,
talk.
It's
but
a-
no,
it's
we're
a
talking
football
football.
channel,
We're not
Iggy.
about the game.
It's a big part of the weekend.
I
fear
know,
every
but I
decent
can't.
new
There's
player.
too much.
There's only one more goal, don't worry. I fear every decent new player who comes in slowly becomes Spursy. Kulu, Romero, Perisic, Basuma, Rich, etc. Is it the dressing room mentality or coaches? Guys, do you know it's a good question?
They get
there are
dragged down.
players that.
They
Why
get
is that,
dragged
JP?
down by everyone else. They just get dragged down by everyone else. Like you saw Romero when he first came, right? He was like Mr. Big Bollocks, running around, winning balls, sliding in, winning tackles. He then stays there and goes, "Okay, well, am I just doing everything here? Like, is anyone else going to help me? Oh, well, if they're just pissing around, I'll just piss around." Did they get dropped? They play a shit game. He headers the ball back to. Dyer headers the ball back, goes straight to a Liverpool player. He scores a goal. They just leave defenders to run past them. Did they get punished? Did they get dropped? Well, what the hell? We'll just take it easier.
No accountability, basically.
It's easy street. Absolutely easy street. And I honestly do think they get sucked into it.
I do think. I mean, Lee, why do you think? Do you agree with what JP's saying? That lack of competition, they just get to keep starting week in, week out, so it drags them down.
Just
Yeah,
one
I
really
do.
quick point before Lee starts. Do you
go on,
see
Jay.
anyone berating anyone on the pitch if they put a bad ball in?
So Højbjerg
They miss
laugh.
something.
People was laughing.
I think.
You know
I
what?
think
I
you're
saw
actually-
that. I
it was-
saw
it
that
was-
match of the day last night. I caught that moment. I don't think it was a laugh. I think
was
it was
laughing
just
at a
one of them.
formation.
Like, I can't believe what I'm fucking seeing it. It was one of them ones where it's like you're laughing in disbelief. It's not laughing. Like,
A nervous laugh. It's a nervous
Yeah,
laugh.
it's
laughing
like,
when
it's
you're
not-
trying to hide a fart. Yeah, one of them.
No. I think it's hard.
Maybe
I
that's what
think
happened.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
it's like a snippet, is a free shot, and it's not. I saw it on Match of the Day last night. It's one of them ones where you're like, you just you're shaking your head like, say, can't fucking believe this. Like, it's one of them. It's not a laugh. It's just like,
I mean, he was saying, "Where's my left back?" I don't know where my left back is. Has anyone seen a left back?
fuck.
Yeah,
We're
But
He did
no,
another-
JP, I think. I
anyway,
think you're
get
right.
this
Hold on.
last goal.
Yeah.
Have you done this last
Hold
goal
on, hold
yet?
on.
No, we haven't
I'm
done it
waiting for
yet.
JP to.
I'm just
Lee,
still going to string it out a little
let's
bit
get
more.
JP, let's get
No,
the pain out of the
man,
way
I'm
with.
enjoying-
Let's
I'm
get the
enjoying
JP.
this. I haven't
No,
enjoyed
Lee,
it
no.
Lee
yet.
was about to say something. Lee was about to
Yeah.
say something.
No, I was
Sorry.
going to agree with JP. I think the lack of competition in places, players become too comfortable, and you see that everywhere. I mean, I think you saw what competition did for Burger King, Flame-grilled Whopper, whatever you want to call him. I forgot his name. He's
Where
been
we
out so
going?
long. His name gone.
Ndombele.
Thing. No, not Ndombele. The other one. No, he's KFC and the old McDonald's. Royale. You saw what that did for him,
Royale.
right?
Oh,
And he came back. Now he's got injured. Porro. Let's be honest. We were all very appreciative of Will's stats and stuff like that, so we could see what he's like. Don't get me wrong. He's not terrible. He's great going forward, and he put some fantastic crosses in. I mean, to be fair, he got walked over by a 6'6" lanky left back yesterday, who he should have just been able to skin every 5 seconds, but he just had him in his pocket. But defending, he's not the best. But that's why he works better as a wing back, because you've got that cover there at right back, and that just and that completely showed his inexperience of playing in defence yesterday. And you're right, and even the last game he didn't look the best when it came to defending. He will be a great player for those games where you've got a lesser team that sits back and lets you have the space and he can go forward. But as soon as you put any pressure on him or anything like that, it's all of his inexperiences and his troubles of defending just shine out. You can see it straight away.
Do you know what's funny?
It's almost like you want him going forward and Emerson defending.
Do you know what's funny? I was just
Do you
about
know
to go
what?
there. We've played wing backs with Emerson in it, and now we're trying to play a wing back with a four at the back.
A right back. With
We
a
got
wing back in it.
Polo at right back and Emerson as a wing back.
It's only
I'm not
Tottenham,
going to
innit?
lie. If it got really bad and we were players out coming back, more injuries. If someone turned up and said, "Well, actually, we're going to play Emerson Royale at right back and Pedro Porro was like a right winger instead of Kulusevski," I think I'll take that at the moment, because he's another one as well. Where the Kulusevski before injury has just melted. He's just, I don't know what on earth's going on with him. He seems slow. He seems off his pace.
It's caught
He
up with all
just-
this shit.
So's Romero.
Yeah.
So's Romero. What's happened to
Romero.
Romero?
I actually,
World Cup,
I kept saying about Romero, he's such a liability. But do you know what I've missed? Seeing him running at 70 miles an hour to going through someone. The last couple of games, he's been really, it's like he's got a lead
No,
on
he's
and someone
checked
said,
out.
"Don't let him off
I
the
think-
leash." So I was like, put a couple of kicks in or something, maybe liven the game up a bit. Jesus.
I think a lot of
what
them
we
are checked
expected,
out, man.
In that back four, what we expected Roberto to do, man.
I expect
Hey, good.
someone that's earning X amount of thousands of pounds a week, no matter what they think about the badge, whether they're invested in the badge or not, because not all of them are, they're all there for money, whatever. I expect them to earn their money. Don't give a shit what state of mind they're in.
No,
That's
I'm
the
saying you got to
Put a fucking tackle in.
an evaluation of a player's performance is also got to be contributed. He's part of a back four there, and it wasn't. Listen, yesterday we was absent in everything that we did from the moment we stepped out of the pitch. So it's very hard to like look at individual performance when we did not even turn up. So it's everybody should be held accountable, top to bottom.
Hey, Bob's here for the next goal.
Yeah, just in time, Bob.
Yeah, mate,
How you doing, Bob? You okay?
Guess the formation.
Yeah. Fresh off my first ever timeout.
Oh.
Yeah.
What channel did you get timed out on?
I went onto a channel and they had the Igal on as a Igal.
Oh, forget it.
And they had the
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you've had her as well, Kendall from Newcastle United, lovely girl. So I said in the not super chat in a normal message, finally some sex appeal, gorgeousness, beauty on this stream. Big up. And lovely to see a lovely girl from Newcastle on here as well.
So you've gone on the insulted. Yeah, you've gone in and insulted, and you're asking why you got put on a timeout.
I got timed out, man.
I don't go anywhere near that channel. I'll tell you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
lesson learned, Bob. Lesson learned. The fifth goal. Now,
this was still what 18 minutes, right?
this is about the 19th minute. So the yellow line I've put as where the defense goes into midfield. So I'm looking just at the defensive area. We've got 5 against 3. We don't just outnumber them. We almost double the amount of defenders to attackers. So we have the overload. Now, from this, we go into a situation where one pass to Ishak, and he's got Pape San Romero. He literally walks between them. Nobody making a tackle. Look. We've gone from 5v3 into a 2v1, and they still score. Like, for me, this is just simple. No one puts a block in, no one puts a tackle in.
The 5.
That was that reversal, wasn't it?
Those 5 are all in the wrong place, though, aren't they? Even though there's 5 there.
Well, Iggy, this is fine. You've got the person on the ball being marked, the runner running in. Okay, you could say that Porro's marking Linton. You've got someone running in to cover Kulu, and then you've got 2 on the edge of the box that are marking Ishak. But the ball gets passed to Ishak, who's right on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
9 of those 2 track the runner, so Ishak ends up picking up the ball. It's just. We don't have players that read the game, move to where the game's going to move, where the passage of play is going to go,
where the danger's going to go,
and then put a block in or put a tackle in. It's similar to the 2 of the 5 goals we've discussed. We're backing off again. I don't know why. I can't explain this. Like, this is not. No coach teaches that. No coach ever says keep backing off, keep back. No coach. I'm telling you. Even Mason and Stellini, there's no way. There's no way you would not.
They don't read the danger. They don't read where the ball can be. They don't go into the zone where the danger can be. There's no proactiveness. It's just reactive. And then when we react, it's late. And then from there, you get a keeper getting beat from there as well. With the ball right next to him. The ball was right there.
Where is Dyer?
He got beat.
Good question.
He got beat. A keeper should not be getting beat from there. I'm sorry, man.
Eric Dyer is off the screen.
Maybe he ran away for shit.
He may as well.
Yeah, Dyer's not there. Dyer's not there. I don't know where he is. JP says he's gone for a poo. I agree. He's probably gone for a shit.
Probably has. Don't you think the shit defending overshadowed Lloris's incapabilities again? He was shocking.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, we were crap.
Absolutely bad.
He was shockingly.
Well, that's the thing, wasn't it? That they all had that argument at half time.
Alleged, yeah.
And apparently
There's no
coach,
way
the
there
coach
weren't
is
words.
sided on Dyer's side against
100% it all kicked off in that dressing room. Absolutely. There's
Yeah,
no
give
way
it-
you're going in 5-0
Yeah, exactly.
down at half time and nothing is said or no one kicks off. 100%
It would have
shit
been
was
nice to
thrown
see
in
that
there.
on a pitch, right? A bit
Yeah.
of fight, a bit of shouting.
But we
at
don't
each
know
other, a bit of
who kicked
ragging.
off against who. It might have been against the managers. It might have been against the
No,
players.
I know what
themselves.
happened. I know what happened. I found that today.
Fucking
I know.
hell.
I'm going to tell you what happened. I know exactly what happened.
So he
we'll
got
get
a bad back. So he got a bad tear in his stomach for picking the ball up out of the net.
Yeah.
he had constipation, so he stayed off. There's one more goal I want to show you guys, and that's our goal. And I have to say,
God,
More.
why?
Yes.
The gift
our
that
goal.
keeps on giving.
Fucking hell,
it's
man.
the goal that
thing
we
I don't-
scored.
Oh,
It's the Harry
okay,
Kane
right.
goal.
That's right.
It's
Good
I
thing
mean,
I
I'm
didn't
ending it
watch
on a
it yesterday.
positive. Right. I have to
Positive.
say, well done to Tottenham. Despite the absolute disgrace and shit show that we are and how fed up we all are of it and no one cares anymore.
One shot, one
It wa-
goal.
It was a very good goal because Dyer, he actually finds a pass down
Found
the
it,
line.
Oh, well, all
To,
forgiven.
Yeah.
So give him a new
Give him a contract.
Yeah, contract.
But this move, and I've made it simple as possible. 1, 2, 3. It was all one touch. Dyer, first touch out wide, first touch to Højbjerg, first touch Højbjerg, plays a through ball to Kane to run in. And honestly, it was so simple, but so well done. And I have to say,
Is that not Kane there? Just next to
Kane-
that.
yeah,
long
he's
ball?
on
Yeah.
the run, isn't he?
this is
He's on the run.
I've circled the ball at the bottom so you can see it's only in phase 1 of the passing. Kane starts running now. And then
How far in his own half is?
Yeah, it was a great run. He beat a player as well, and then when he got into the box, Kane does what he does best.
Yeah.
There's only one place he can put it, bang, right in the bottom corner. That's why Kane's elite, because he sees it
World-class.
and he does it.
World class, man.
He's top class. So
And-
listen, I have to say it's a fantastic one-touch move by Spurs. Simple but brilliant, and the finish from Kane
Yeah,
Kane
but-
was absolutely top draw. So we've got to give
Still,
us
look
a
at the-
little
Mate,
bit,
when the
a little
pressure's
bit
not
of praise.
Look at their defenders. They're just a shit.
No,
When the-
mate, you're 5-0 up. You're gonna ease off. You're not gonna be at the same intensity.
They got cigars in.
I'm
They're
sorry,
smoking
we-
cigars in.
Look, guys,
we don't score that goal if it's 0-0. We don't score
when the
that goal.
pressure is off, we play some really good football, man.
But it was, if you go back and watch it, guys, you'll actually say, do you know what? Actually, because we're so depressed and caught up in the hellhole and the toxic shit pit that is Tottenham, I think a lot of us just actually missed. That was actually a fucking good goal we scored. But it doesn't matter because 5-1, we don't care. But it was a really good goal.
I didn't. I
The
turned
verdict-
around to the wife
There's-
and said
there's the
straight away,
verdict.
that's how you do it. One touch passing. When the players off the ball are making moves, that's when one touch passing football works. That's what we don't do half the time, but we did it then, and that's how easy it is to score a goal. I praised him.
Mate, rightly so. It was a bloody good goal. Just
Oh, yeah,
it
world
meant
class.
nothing in
can
the grand
play-
scheme of
Play
things.
football when the pressure's off. Let's have it right, yeah. The game was done. Pressure was off.
Listen, at
Please
this
don't take
stage,
it away from us. Please don't take it.
I stopped
That's all we're
analysing this
holding on
stage.
to.
It's another goal for Kane, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I'm not even going to get into the second half because at 20 minutes, this was bye-bye. But what I do want to go on to is this. What do you feel about the treatment of this player, Pape
Out
Sarr?
of, out of
Disgraceful.
order. Out of order.
Talk us
20-year-old.
through it.
How are you going to go and lay what happened yesterday to this kid? How are you going to go and lay it on him? Someone who hadn't played since Southampton. He's come in in a difficult moment in a new formation. What turned out to be an absolute shit show. He got taken off after 20 minutes, and we're laying our frustration on a kid when you've got many other players who are pro elite players in that team. We don't give that abuse. If you're going to give it to him, you should be giving it to Kane. Should be giving it to Son. Should be giving it to every player in that team who are far more experienced as well. Don't take it out of him. He's not. He can't do that. It's not fair. It's not right.
I was on we're on live watch along, weren't we? And I said as soon as he came off, I go, look, if anyone any of the Spurs fan base know if he's on any social media, Instagram, Twitter, reach out to him and say, listen, don't worry about it. It's not your fault.
Mm.
The mentality shift, the mental effect it could have on this kid, because that's what he is. We just don't know. If Stellini had stayed there a bit longer, he would have been, seeing this guy who basically could potentially ruined his season. There's no way if Stellini was still here, he could work under Stellini with the same confidence. He's not going to gain the same confidence off Stellini after being taken off 20 minutes. Listen, there's an argument that he was the least experienced in that midfield, even against Skip. So rightfully so, there is an argument that he was the only option to take off. There is that argument, but he should never ever have been been in that position in the first place, and that comes down to Stellini not being a manager. He's not manager.
Bob,
He has been trusted though, Bob, though, isn't he? Like at the end of the day, they chucked him in to play against AC Milan away.
They had no choice though. There was no choice. They were the only two fit midfielders.
It was a different moment. Again, we talk about moments. That Milan game was a different moment. We had our two players in midfield out or suspended, whichever it was. And it was like,
but he coped well, didn't he?
He coped well.
He did well.
In a formation that had been tried and tested with Conte on the sidelines. It's a completely different setup, different moment. It wasn't a great moment, but it weren't one that was yesterday. Yesterday was desperation. Formation change. It was all improvisation, and it
was almost like the last thread of dice.
And also, what's worse, it failed before it even started. It had nothing to do with anything else. Because the attitude weren't there from minute zero.
I think the worst thing for me, I would say, is obviously this happened this week. Last week it was Porro who got abused. Sanchez obviously got booed and all of that crap. If you're a player and Spurs are looking to buy you and you see all of this, are you going to want to come to this club?
Well, no, I'm looking at Emerson trying to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, but he does no look passes, man. Leave him alone. If you you have one bad game and you just get battered and slagged off on social media, why are you going to come here?
Well, maybe they've been watching the players and see, well, I can't play as bad as that.
For me, last week, I can't remember whose show it was. I was saying, because someone mentioned that Alfie Devine should start and we should bring in like a Malachi Walcott or Charlie Sawyers and play them in defence instead of this lot, and that, the academy can't be worse than what we're seeing right now. And I remember saying this. My view is, if you're going to develop a young player and bridge the gap from youth football to adult football and really develop them, you need two things: patience, and you need the right environment. There is no patience at this club whatsoever. Porro's been here 2 months. He had to come off social media the other day, right? There is no patience.
That's bad.
And secondly, this is the absolute worst environment to develop a player. Because yesterday, if there was one player on the pitch that needed an adult to go over to him and say, don't worry, we're having a bad game, get yourself up, keep going, you're doing well. No one on that team took accountability and thought, we've got to help this young lad on the pitch. And this is what I talk about when I say environment. This is the worst environment to develop a player. So I don't want to see Alfred Devine. I don't want to see Sawyers, Malachi Walcott, Dane Scarlett. I don't want to see any of them touch this team until the club fucking sorts itself up upstairs. The environment's finished. You can't develop young players in this club. It will destroy them. And what you saw yesterday with Pape Sarr, that's a masterclass in fucking a young player up. In my view,
another thing we saw yesterday, Stel, was Danny Rose on TV. And you sitting there taking the piss out of him. Hey, Kettle Black, mate, we've seen you. You look with the ST there. Yeah? We've seen it, mate. Hey?
You need to send us that.
Yeah.
Hey?
But
Mate,
it's that famous
fucking
word.
no, mate,
That
we know.
famous
No,
word.
fuck you, Bob.
That reminds me of the police academy. Accountability, that famous word, accountability. I've been using it a long while now. Accountability. Who is accountable for all of this? Who is it, man? Another manager. Mason's now in charge. Mason is now in charge, man.
Stills Taylor.
Tottenham Hotspur manager.
Well,
Ryan Mason.
some people, Iggy, would say, what about the captain yesterday?
He retired at half time. He retired at half time.
Well, we're 5-0 down. Our young player on the pitch has been pulled off, scapegoat. And this guy here refused to come out now. I'll tell you what I've been told. You can have the chat.
Listen, this geezer here, I love the fact that they made him go and do the interview at the end of the game. It's like, I had never seen Luis. I've forgotten the last time Luis has actually stepped out post-match interviews. When was the last time? I think Dynamo Zagreb. Was it Dynamo Zagreb the last time I saw him?
It was the last humiliating game.
Dynamo Zagreb. This time they sent him out there again.
One of our friends that some of you know, he was at the game yesterday, and
Big up,
on the train back, I think there was like a connecting train, and then he came to London. On that connecting train, there was some of the staff from Newcastle on the train, and he got talking to them, and they said to him that they heard the commotion going on. There was a proper tear up in the changing room, and from what he was told, Lloris went for Kane. Things got really heated, and that's why Lloris wasn't allowed to come out, and that's why the rumours of Lloris is there's been a bust up, and that fake injury story. He's not injured. He's not injured.
We know he's not injured, but why?
You don't suddenly get injured at half time.
Out of all the players that was shit, why is he going for Kane?
Why can't they?
Because he scored.
Why am I not hearing Dyer? Why am I not hearing Dyer?
Lloris probably had a bet on 6-0.
I don't get why you were going to pick the cases.
And do you remember the Amazon documentary? Which two players had the bust up? It was Lloris and Son, wasn't it? So we know Lloris has got it in him.
He's got it in him. But why him though?
Well, the French don't usually turn up, do they?
Well, maybe. Listen, I don't know what. Listen, we weren't in the dressing room. We don't know, but there was definitely a bust up. There was a bust up.
Nicked his bottle of vodka.
Fraser Foster in.
So what do you? Listen, regardless of bust up or no bust up, is it acceptable that the club captain?
Fuck that! Hell no! Fuck him! Fuck him! If a club captain does not come out in the second half, I don't care if you've got a niggle. You do not. And I say it again, you do not go out in that second half. You play the second half, and if your hip's really hurting you, you get you go down, you get the physios in, and if you can't carry on, you come off. Fair play. But there's no fucking way that a club captain, 5-0 drubbing at half time, should not present himself back out on the pitch, injured or not injured, because you've got to think to yourself, what is everyone going to be thinking? Even if I am genuinely injured and I've got a little problem here, what are these lot going to be thinking about me if I don't present myself out there in the second half? You go out, you play, and if you're in that much pain, you come back off. That's a big point, JP. Do you care? That's he can answer that question.
But what I will say, Guido, if it's true about bust up and stuff like that, and it's out of him and Kane, you guess you'd rather have Kane on the pitch. And if someone's made that decision,
but it depends what they're arguing about and what it is that I don't know. We don't know. What Stelios just said is just no disrespect. It's just pure hearsay. We don't know.
It is speculation. But if it's something like
that, this has come from someone that works at the club that works.
But they could have been spinning a yarn on the train or something, right?
That's fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that we don't know. We don't know it to be factual. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, but if something like that did happen, and the management have made a decision, you'd rather Kane on the pitch than Hugo, who's shipped him 5 goals in 20 minutes.
David Clark, wicked comment.
It doesn't matter who's captain.
He's on fire tonight.
No one. Kane does not come off that pitch.
No.
Simple as that.
Later on.
I'll
What?
find it. I'll find it.
No, this one here. This one.
There you go. Although some would say Michael Jackson wore good job. Michael Jackson did wear gloves, but we won't go into that. Although he did.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching Tottenham Away. Appreciate it.
Oh man.
Well, at 5-0, it's half time. Pape Sarr's been mugged off. Lloris refuses to come out, and exactly around about 3 o'clock, the players come out, and I'm thinking this can't get any worse. And then, ping, we get a national emergency alert test whilst we're 5-0 down, and within about 5 seconds, all the gags are coming out.
It's like, I was going to say the government predicted it. Evacuate the stadium, abandon the match.
You couldn't write the. Honestly, I thought. Only we do a national alert when Spurs are actually in alert mode. And
we'll never forget it. We'll never forget it.
I'll never forget the alert. We'll never forget the alert. That's all happened, right? We've looked at the lineups. We've looked at Danny Rowe's outfit. We've looked at the goals. We've looked at. We've talked about
did you hear what Rowe said at half time?
Young man. No? Oh, sorry.
No. Pretty sure he said, do you need a left back?
He was going to looking at the way the defenders are playing. I don't know why I'm out of a job.
Yeah.
Do you mean Danny Rose? You mean Danny Rose or Stelios?
Stelios.
Oh, leave it out.
Rose.
Leave it out, man. Why did I bring up this joke? This joke's backfired. It's backfired. Look, in when you look at yesterday's game, and obviously the losses we've had as well this season, the Bournemouth one just before this, and then the absolute diabolical lack of desire, hunger, anything. And you know what? I remember a couple of weeks ago, Arsenal went to Anfield. They were dancing all around Anfield. 2-0 up, should have been 3 or 4. Arsenal ran riot. Liverpool, did they collapse and cave in? They're like, no, we'll just turn the game ugly. Let's get rough and tough with this lot. Let's see what you're of. And they got into them. And do you know what? They should have won it. So that's what I'm talking about. Even a crap Liverpool losing at home, being absolutely battered by Arsenal, they found a way to fight back, because that's what sport is about, not giving up. And you look at our lot yesterday, nobody, even just someone kicking one of them up in the air, just bang, put one on them, just try and change the flow of the game.
Cheese everyone else up and stuff, doesn't it?
Nothing, Iggy, nothing. We went into this shell of, oh, we don't play football, and you know, Lloris not coming back out. It was just sickening. And the reason I've mentioned that is because what do you now make of these comments off the back of all that?
Yeah, spot on.
They're used to it here. They don't play for something important. They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. Tottenham, story is this: 20 years. This is the owner. They've never won something. Why? How fucking right do you think this guy's now looking?
Levy was hoping.
Everyone's saying it.
Do you reckon he found out about? Do you think he found out about the players' committee?
He probably was
found out about
invited.
the players' committee, and he thought, "Fuck this! I'm not having this." Not.
Sorry, Bob.
He probably walked in, sat down, and they're all sitting there going, "All right, this Conte,
This Conte fucker needs to go.
Get him out."
I think Levy had hoped that the words would go away or have less of a meaning after Conte. If anything, they're getting stronger and stronger and stronger, meaning more and more, holding a lot more gravitas as the days go by. And that is the biggest issue, because they are the final words that, for us, the world-class manager said on his way out.
You can change the managers, but the situation will not change, believe me.
And what a gift.
Just on the subject, I know we can't talk about any more goals, but on the subject, I was watching TalkSport earlier, and Simon Jordan was on there, and apparently he's I was watching it on YouTube.
It's on YouTube as well. YouTube.
Yeah, I was waiting for an hour the other day for Bob in the morning. I'm still waiting.
Come on, Bob.
Sorry,
but apparently he's a friend of Levy's, or he knows him quite closely. And I'm not bigging myself up, but what I said, he's come out and he basically went, listen, I think it's time for, a few truths to come out, and I don't think it matters now what's been said. But he said Levy never wanted to fire Conte. He was happy for Conte to stay there till the end of the season. Conte started the fire by saying those comments. Conte wanted a way of getting out. Levy basically was put into a position where he said, I don't want him to go. I've got no choice now, though. You can't make comments like that of the players, of the club, of the management and stuff like that, and then expect to be there the next day. But I never wanted him to go. I didn't want him to go. I was quite happy for him to stay till the end of the season and see how it is. But he started it all off. He gave himself an out, and there was no other choice but to say, I'm not sacking. We're going to have to part ways because there's no way that you can turn up to be at work tomorrow after saying what you did.
Is that Simon Jordan trying to defend Levy by saying that?
No.
Or is there
because he was he very specifically said, Levy, there are issues that Daniel knows he has and he needs to sort them out. The issues lie with him. He needs to take responsibility for all of this, which was, a caveat that he put in there beforehand. But he said he never wanted Conte out. Conte made the exit door for himself, and Levy just had to let him walk through it because he couldn't. What do you expect with anyone? You can't come. You ain't going to walk out the front of your work in the morning and say this place is a load of shit. No one's doing anything right. You're a load of crap, and then expect your boss to go, well, actually, you've been here for 20 years. You're good at what you do, but I just can't let you come back through the door. It's as simple as that. You've almost made yourself an exit. So, see you later, goodbye, and have a good life.
So, and then
he left Stellini behind, and they've got a little plan going on, going, make these guys look absolute dog shit. Absolutely screw it all up, and his plan is absolutely executed it, but obviously Levy's cottoned onto it now and let him go today. So,
so that's what he would have done. He would have phoned him up and gone, hey, I've been looking around YouTube and Twitter and stuff. They want 4 at the back. Go on, give it to him.
Been on FIFA too much, hasn't he? He's probably got one of those open one of those packs and saw Dyer got a black or gold card one week and went, yeah, let's stick him at the back.
Well, I mean, if Levy didn't want to get rid of him so much, he should have backed him properly then.
But what do you guys?
No, you're right. No, absolutely. We've all been saying that from day one, right? He was never backed in the first place. I mean, he's
any reason he probably wanted to keep him till the end of the year
together with pallet wood, but what can you do?
What do you not make of this committee stuff though? There's this player committee rubbish.
It's been going on for ages though, Iggy.
Yeah, Iggy, I'm surprised. You said that a few times.
It's been there forever.
I'm surprised you don't know about it. It was there at the forefront when we went to South Korea. You know who they are? So you got the usual. You got Dyer, Kane, Højbjerg, Lloris, Davis, and Sanchez.
Mate,
it's those senior players.
I'd break that right up. That's the first thing that's got to go.
They are the. We saw it as South Korea, man. They were the first
Mm.
ones out. They were the ones taking the photos and everything. So yeah, they're the player committee. They've been around right from Conte.
Nah, that's got to go. That's got to go.
I'm sure
Pochettino to Chelsea as well.
Yeah,
Jose was there, Bob.
1 minute. We're coming on to that. Because something bigger happened before all of that. Something happened bigger before that, and that was today. Breaking news: Stellini fired.
I did not know that happened.
No way.
Yeah. Well, we like to keep everyone up to date here on Tottenham Way with cutting edge.
So is that manager number 16 that's already gone?
Yep.
This is 16. Yep. So Tottenham sacked Christian Stellini and replaced him with Ryan Mason. Sunday's performance against Newcastle was wholly unacceptable. Wait, there's some funny stuff here, by the way. It was devastating to see. We can look at the reasons why it happened, and whilst myself, the board, the coaches and players must all take collective responsibility. My first question regarding these comments to you guys is, Levy ends his first little speech on all this by saying, ultimately, the responsibility is mine. Is that
and then he sacked
Levy's all right
then
now.
he sacks
Is he okay now? Because he's admitted it's all in.
Levy in.
Ultimately, the responsibility is mine, and he sacks Stellini.
Yeah.
He says
penny finally dropped that he's the issue.
Said that? How many times have we said that, Randy?
Is that
still hoping that the fan base are finally
The
seen
thing,
a
no,
bit
no,
of
no.
like,
The thing is, Levy knows what he's doing. He knows that by
service.
putting that
That's
little
lip
line in
service.
there, he's like, oh, finally he's doing a bit of mea culpa. It's like, finally he's acknowledged it. But he's fucking playing with
Lip
words,
service, man.
Because it's lip service. It's like, oh, ultimately it's mine. But yeah, fuck it, Stellini can go. Mason in. And guess what? We now have manager 17 in charge. Because let's have it right. If Ryan Mason is head coach, he is the manager of Spurs right now.
Yeah, but does it count if he's done it twice?
Yeah, of course it is.
Oh,
He's been employed again, isn't he? He was employed the first time round. He's employed again this time around. So
do you
I'm
think
sure he
though?
gets a manager salary.
I'm sure this is the last hurrah though. I'm sure Mason's probably gone at the end of the season, right? If they're bringing in
I
someone
can't believe
new.
he's taking it on. In all honesty, given the
Lee,
shit show.
I've made 2 predictions today. One, that Sanchez is going to get a new deal. There is there's no way he's going into last year of his contract, and Lineker are going to sit there and think and see one of their record buys go on a free transfer. He's going to get a new contract, and my second prediction is we're going to go 100 days without signing a permanent manager.
It's probably already day 20 or something now, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, the biggest sign of what's going to happen next season, if of day one of the summer, we don't have a manager in place and it doesn't happen till the end of the summer, forget next season. Levy's got to put someone in there to give him time to do absolutely, whether it's clear out everything. If it doesn't come out in the next couple of days that he's got someone in sight, if it's Nagelsmann or someone like that, well, honestly, Iggy, I'm going to say it now for everyone in the comments that's saying Pochettino to Chelsea, I couldn't care less.
Snap.
I didn't want him back at Tottenham anyway. It's again, if Levy put him in there, as Stel said, it's fan service. That's it. It's not going to do anything. It'll probably be the worst fucking situation he'll ever be in. Just forget about Pochettino. Stop singing his fucking name. I'll go to the ground next week and sing Santa Claus's name. Don't mean he's coming to Tottenham. Jesus.
He's magic,
but
he's
Pochettino. If the only way Pochettino works back at Tottenham is if it's a new Tottenham. That's it. If it's a new Tottenham, owner's gone, new management, and he's a new owner, yes, it will work. Otherwise, I couldn't care less.
Mate, look at the players he's got at Chelsea to work with. Look at the players he's going to have to Chelsea.
So 1 minute. Let's come to Pochettino. I want to finish off Daniel Levy's comments. Daniel Levy also said, Christian will leave his current role along with his coaching staff. So the coaching team have gone as well now. Christian stepped in at a difficult point. I want to thank him, blah, blah, blah. And thank you for the way he conducted himself during a challenging time. He ended his speech by saying, we wish him and his staff all well. Ryan Mason will take over head coach duties with immediate effect. Ryan knows the club and the players well. We shall update further on his coaching staff in due course. So he's now in charge. Ryan Mason is back. And we can see in March it was Conte, April Stellini, May is Mason. Who will we have in June? It doesn't matter because the season ends. And there you go. 3 managers in 3 months. Mason's back. When he was last in charge, he lost us a cup final. We finished 7th. And the happiest person is Bob. Congratulations. Mason in.
Mason in.
Listen, June 27th is my prediction. That's 100 days since Conte got sacked. We don't start our season till the first week of August. It's very real.
That's Scott Munn. He can only start on the 1st of June, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
100 days, guys.
And he's meant to be the
100 days. We're going to go 100 days without signing. With regards to Ryan Mason in, a lot of people giving me shit. I just assumed everyone knew me. But I've been saying Ryan Mason in for God knows how long. And I said on my little thing, said Ryan Mason in. Right, you what? Fucking Ryan Mason in? What fucking planet you want? I'm like, whoa. There is a method behind my madness. I've been saying Ryan Mason in before Conte got the job. Because why? Because the board deserve someone like him. There is that bit of Coover element. You know, I want to sit back and watch it burn. And Ryan Mason, you know, love him because he is a Spurs player and Spurs through and through. But he's no manager. He's not going to take us to the next level. And it's going to be that. And some of the fan base deserve Mason. Levy deserves Mason. And I just want to see what happens. Let the show continue. That's why I want Ryan Mason in. But so like people are coming at me. You what? You fucking whoa. They know who I am. No, they don't.
Strasbourg, Steve, thank you for the super chat. Trust me,
Mate,
Redknapp will be putting
Big
a
up, Steve.
manager.
you're still high from the weekend, aren't you?
Steve, I can 100% tell you he will not be the new manager because I know Spurs aren't looking at
He
him.
won't manage under Levy.
But most
Levy
importantly
won't
of all,
take him back.
one of the reasons we got rid of him is because there was that rosy 999 dodgy dealings going on. After what's happened with Paratici, there's no way Redknapp is coming to Spurs. I like your thinking, but I just don't see it, man. I really don't.
He was selling jam roly-polies out the car park, wasn't he? Loves a jam roly-poly.
That's it, man.
Sandra loves the jam roly-poly.
But look, what's on a serious note, guys? They've clearly removed Stellini because of it went over the edge. That Newcastle game, with us having Man United in 5 days, the social media team at Spurs would have said, "Listen, we are getting ruined by the media, by the journos, by ex-players. The fans are now talking about marches, protests. Those people that we've managed to shut down, Brian Dagan and Stelios. Now people are agreeing with them. We're really fucked." Do you know what I mean? So what on earth do we do? And the only thing they could have done was one to sack Stellini and the coaching team. So now those last few Levy-inners that are clinging on to, but Stellini's still an extension of Conte. Can't wait for Mason to go attacking football to back four. We're going to get absolutely torn every time Rashford runs at Dyer. Do you think with these players and and Ryan Mason that we could finish the season stronger, or are we in for just more turmoil? What's your trying to put our Enoch and Levy hats off now, where we stand with the board and the owners from a Ryan Mason perspective? Because these players are friends with him, some of them. Could he do a better job, or is it the same or similar? Yeah, go for it, Lee.
I think is the simple answer to that question is if it's true that the players didn't want to play for Conte, Stellini, the remnants of whatever's left behind, and now they're pally with Mason and they want to give him 110%, then maybe. But if nothing's going to change, we ain't magically getting another 11 players in tomorrow. Mason's still got the same players, so it only works with Mason if they want to play for him. If they wanted Stellini, all the remnants of Conte out, etc., they've got it. Now they need to show some fucking character. If they want to play for him and they want to play, have a bit of pride, we'll see that on Thursday night. If it's no different, then it doesn't matter what happens. It matter whether it's Mason, fucking Ethel the cleaner. It doesn't matter. Nothing's going to change, and that's what everyone's been saying today. So, we can only wait and see what happens on Thursday night. See who turns up, because if they don't, I'll tell you now, I would not want to be a Tottenham Hotspur player in that stadium on Thursday night, because if that team that turns up yesterday, they're going to get ripped to pieces.
I hope so.
Alex,
I hope so.
Well, go on, JP.
Big up, Alex. No, I was just saying I hope so. I hope they do get ripped to shreds on Thursday night.
I agree. Well, the only reason I'm going to the game, JP, and I've been boycotting the last 6 or 7. The only reason I'm going now is to make it toxic.
Yeah.
I have no other reason. I couldn't give a shit about the football.
But what kind of one thing I will say is that I think it would be disgusting if suddenly they get rid of all these managers and their mates in, and they suddenly start playing well. Like, that just reaffirms Conte's message, right? His parting words.
Yeah, and it makes you worry that they're not playing for the badge of the club, are they? Because if they can just down guns and just don't care. I
don't like it. I don't want to. So you have a winning manager who comes in, and 2 winning managers who come in and say, "This is what we're going to do. We're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to run further. You have to look at this style. You have to play like this. You have to play like that." Don't like it. Right, we'll just get rid of him. Hey, my mate's
Alex,
back.
you was someone that wanted him to get a smoke on as well. Alex, you were somebody that did want Conte out. this isn't about Conte out, but he has gone. Now Stellini's gone as well. There is no reminiscence of Conte at this club left. So are you now happy with that situation? And are you okay with Mason for the last 6 games?
I'm going to give a little bit of I'm going to leave that to pass because I'm going to say something on Mr. Box Office TV on that. The reason why I came on, and I've now I've realized the truth now about this team, about Daniel Levy, and why people keep on talking about Pochettino. Right, because Lee has a point, has an absolute point people need to get over. And I've heard this analogy about this girlfriend. I've said it on Sabbath's show as well. Okay, so I've been fair to everyone on this one. I'm going to say this, right? Spurs fans, okay, are never going to get over Pochettino because Daniel Levy hasn't given us a reason to not get over Pochettino. Okay? Because the fact is, right, if we got a manager in that played the same football as Pochettino, more successful than Pochettino, we wouldn't be talking about Pochettino. And the problem is, he's gone over to Chelsea, and I'll tell you right now, if he gets trophies at Chelsea, watch Tottenham fans, yeah? Because I'm telling you right now, yeah, I'm doing a new segment on my show, Mr. Box Office TV, because this 29th day now, yeah, because we sat Stellini and now bringing Ryan Mason. Oh, we're going to get great football now. I'll tell you right now, yeah, we'll be still looking for a manager towards the end of the summer, yeah? And that theory I said, without Harry Kane, we are relegation candidates. We are so close to Everton, it's frightening. You might as well start whining. Like you're whining like you're going to a soccer event and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's it. You know what I mean? Because when people, I know Asmatic is my boy, yeah, but the nonsense he was chatting yesterday, yeah, you know what I mean? About the tactics and everything else, yeah? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Because I'm sorry, you can't do anything with these players. You were spot on what you're saying about we can't play top 4, we can't play a back 4. Because look what
you're my boy, but you're a mug.
Absolutely thrashed. We got absolutely thrashed, and that's it. And people were telling me, yeah, cancelled me, yeah, telling me, oh, Mr. Post Office, well, where's your receipts now, bruv? Where's your receipts now, bruv? You know what I mean? Where are your receipts now, bruv? Yeah, because I'm still talking. Yeah. I'm still yawning, bruv. I'm still looking in your face, bruv. And that's it. And that's all I need to say. Because Mr. Box Office is talking the truth again. And if you don't know, get to know. Back to you, Stelios. I'm done.
No. But I don't want to be involved. It's not back to me. Back to someone else. Back to Asthmatic.
No, that's not having a go. Asthmatic, by the way. He's my boy. He's my boy.
He's my boy.
Let me just make this clear. I like Asthmatic. I like it.
I love you, but I hate you.
You just
I love you, Asthmatic. Yeah.
I love you, but your opinions on football are trash.
Look. My opinion is Mason against United. If he goes to a back 4 and he doesn't stink it out, woo! There's going to be some fireworks. I tell you, man. I'm telling you. If we go to a back 4 and we play the likes of Rashford, yeah, Rashford on Porro, you're going to see some real fireworks. Trust me. And then to top it off, on Sunday, we're at Anfield, where we never get a result. Oh my Lord. He's under pressure. His collar is hot right now. I'm telling you. Right now, Spurs about to get fist up. So,
Ryan Mason's got this.
I don't know. Like Levy, that's the reason why I think he's panicking right now.
Masterclass inbound.
He needs to find a director of football, but I think even he might panic and go for a manager. He might just panic.
He might panic and just leave.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's kind of put himself.
What's a director of football going to do when he's forced to sign Spences and Danjumas and Longleys, players that the manager doesn't want? We could get him, Paul Mitchell. We had the best director of football, Mitchell. We forced him out. It's the best we've ever had.
Irrelevant.
He said it was his dream job. He said this is my dream job.
Irrelevant. Players getting contracts, director of football, manager is all irrelevant till they know what they're doing up
There you go,
there.
Guma.
Cracker said it. Fish rots from the head down. And the head's rotten, man. And it's seeping through, and it's slowly seeping through. It's been seeping for 2 years. 2 years still, I've been saying. Identity, ambition, direction. Without that, we've got fuck all. Bringing in any manager. We've brought in 2 of the world's best managers in the world here. Totally irrelevant. I said when the day Conte came in, I'm like, nah, it means fuck all. It means fuck all. If Lineker aren't going to match the vision of a world-class manager, a very evident, a factual world-class manager, it means fuck all, man. Getting Mason in, getting Conte in, Mourinho in, whoever, Pep in, Klopp in, it doesn't matter. Hence the reason I've been saying for 2 years, Mason in, because he's irrelevant, as is the club, as is the direction. Mason being in or out, you might as well not have anyone there. Next best thing, Ryan Mason in, because he's going to do exactly. He's a puppet. He showed that last time. The questions during press conference. How do you think today's game went, Ryan Mason? Yes, Mr. Levy's done a fine job. Hey, Ryan Mason in and watch. Sit back, enjoy the show. Ryan Mason in.
And Mason's got
Sit back and enjoy the show. Do you know what? I'll tell you one thing. Will Stewart, he said something when Conte got sacked. As soon as Conte got sacked, we did a show on Henry's channel, and Henry asked the question, what do you expect now? And I sat there and I said, look, I don't think too much is going to change. I think the players are a problem, but maybe we'll win some, maybe we'll lose some. Okay. It went to Will, and Will did this. He had that smirk on his face, right? You know that smirk where he gets cocky. But he somehow, he's also right when he gets that cockiness, right? He goes, I'm just going to sit back and watch this whole thing implode in front of us because this is what the fans have asked for. And I can't wait to see everyone in tears. And do you know what? It literally played out like that. And I don't know if Mason's going to change anything because the amount of pressure to put on an inexperienced guy like Mason, again, do you know how I said earlier, don't play any youngsters at Tottenham because this is the worst environment to try and develop a player. We almost destroyed Pape Sarr the other night. If you play Divine, Scarlett, Malachi Walcott, we'll ruin them. I think the same might apply to Mason. A young man like him stepping into this isn't like before when we sacked Jose. Things weren't as toxic because COVID shut us out. This is horrendous to put it on his shoulders. I don't know, man. Do you think he can even hack the pressure of what's coming?
But this could also impact on his future jobs as well.
Exactly.
Massively.
Yeah.
We don't want him to fail. We want him. I want Ryan Mason to fucking knock out the park and hey, do I don't know what
Poch did or something.
You know exactly what's going to happen, Bob. Though you know exactly what's going to happen. Emerson's going to play. Davis is going to play, and it's it's a masterclass. Yeah, and then we're back. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm done with it, bruv. I'm done. I'm sorry. And someone said, "Oh, you weren't born when we won trophies." Yeah. I've done my research, bruv. Yeah, and watch my top 5 and my Mr. Box Office TV. Yeah, or the best, the worst, and bang average top 5, bruv. Then you'll see my research, bruv, and my team, bruv. Yeah, and learning stuff. Yeah. So don't come for me, bruv, all day long, bruv. I'm on it right now, bruv. You know what I mean? Let's go. Back to you, still, bruv. I'm done.
Hey, Emerson's injured, by the way, so I don't think he can go back to Emerson. But
do you know what?
You'll find a way.
Real Madrid. He's going Real Madrid.
He said him and his dad said, "Yeah, I'm out. We're done.
Out. It's too good for us."
Do you know what? I've just seen that Daniel Levy statement. There's one paragraph I missed where he ends his explanation of sacking Stellini and bringing Mason. He says, "We are all clear. We need to deliver performances which earn your amazing support." So when he gave the message to the trust back in January, when he replied to their question, he said, "Come on, up your game." Now he's gone 180 and said, We need to earn your support. That's a massive U-turn. And he ends it by saying, come on, you Spurs. Is he taking the piss?
So the only thing
Come
on
on,
that
you
Daniel.
Spurs.
big up,
Daniel,
big up, Maori, because I saw your label, right? I saw your label down there.
Yeah.
And as you'll see my one as well. Koi's
Wait for Stel. Wait for Stel.
What do you mean?
You got to get rid of that so they can see the name tags.
name tags.
There.
Oh, sorry. Koi's Daniel.
That had me laughing. I was literally laughing throughout that whole statement. And when he ended that up there, I was just like, Coyce, Daniel. I was getting real Coyce, Daniel.
Koi's Daniel. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Do you reckon if he goes and does a YouTube announcement to us, he'll go, Koi's.
Did you guys talk about this players committee? Because I found out who's in this players committee.
Eric Dyer's in it.
Eric Dyer.
That's why he's getting a new contract.
Hoiberg.
Yeah, but Eric Dyer's only in it so that everyone understands what Porro's saying because he speaks Portuguese. That's it.
Virgil van Dijk needs to just get out the door, bruv. Honestly, if he gets to sign a new contract, we're done. He's and if Lene gets a contract, that's 2 foreign players. That's 2 foreign players added to our foreign count, by the way. So if you want to get a foreign player in, I don't know what you can do. You know what I mean?
Big up, man.
Come on, you sponsors. Right, on a serious note, guys, right? The last the 2 games I have been to in the last 6 weeks, there's been very, very, very loud. He's magic, Maurizio Pochettino. And I'm with Lee. I don't want him back. Okay, I love Poch. If we've got new owners, bring him back straight in. But under this lot, no way. So when you see this, do you think this will have big repercussions for us? Not just because it will upset those fans singing Pochettino songs. Not only is he going to our rivals, but I think that opens a door for potentially Kane making the move to Chelsea as one of his options. Right? What do you make of all of that?
Still, I said it on my channel already, right? If he wins trophies at Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur sack another manager, it's gonna go mad. Yeah, forget Kane. Kane's going. Yeah, he can go Chelsea because I said already. Danny was telling you already. He was telling you this. My boy Danny was telling you already about this already. People saying he's talking nonsense. He wasn't talking nonsense because he needs trophies. Loser without trophies, and that's it. Yeah, sorry, Tottenham fans, but I don't even know why this is such a big deal, me saying it, because if you're a top player, you win trophies. Ask the big guys. You know what I mean? Sorry. You know what I mean? So
I will say this.
The fact is, is that, if he's the former Tottenham manager goes over to Chelsea and starts winning stuff, and he can win stuff with that team because he's a good coach, I'm telling you now, that their blood will be boiling. That's going to be their breaking point. I'll tell you that for a fact.
I said this on Tottenham
I'm
away.
not angry with Pochettino, by the way. I'm not angry with Pochettino because I didn't want him back either. But I'm making the point, and I'm right, Stelios. I'm right. People know I'm right.
Still, as my eyewitness, still know the stream that was maybe a month and a half ago, where I was telling you about a good friend of mine who lives in Manchester, about his cousin who works within the scouting department in at United. I said this maybe close to 2 months ago that Kane was off to United after his free. If he goes on a free this summer, they're gonna test Tottenham's resolve. I don't even think he's gonna make it to go to Chelsea. I think they're really going to test Levy's resolve in regards to Kane, having him transferred to Manchester United. They're going to go hard after him. If they don't get Osimhen, you have to watch. The 2 options that they want at United is Osimhen. If they don't go after hard after Osimhen, they will go hard after Kane. I would say this. even signing Poch alone actually benefits the movement, because now, I'm telling you now, Chelsea say tomorrow, that building is going to be so toxic on Thursday. And I love it. We need it to be toxic, because that will scare the heebie-jeebies of Daniel Levy and that board.
Sorry, the Hebe what?
Heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies. He must have heard of that still, wouldn't he?
No.
Heebie-jeebies.
I thought this was
Right.
some Florida lingo.
I thought you were about some
Heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies.
Okay,
I
I'll
thought
say
you were about
it will scare him shitless. All right.
I thought you
Okay,
mentioned
yeah,
some
I understand that.
Turkish football club. Some Turkish British.
Oh dear. Oh, by the way, anyone
think-
Turkish
I think
watching the
Bob's-
show, we're not.
No.
You need to watch the show that Bob Smith did on Saturday when Mari tried to pronounce Fenerbahce.
Berish. Guys, I'm going to make a move, man. I've got to work in a few 6 hours. So big up,
Big up,
thanks for
Bob.
having me on. And yeah, Ryan Mason in. Breakfast brew tomorrow morning, 7:40 in the morning with Kuva.
Heebie-jeebies.
Away to work as always. And yeah, let's see how it all unfolds. Big up, people. Big up.
Well done.
Oh, man.
See you later.
Okay,
Big
man.
up, Bob
See you later.
Smith.
See you later.
So where is everyone then? Like, would any of you here be upset if Poch went to Spurs? Not just for the reason of you might want Poch, but would you feel like he's doing a Sol Campbell? Because that's what some people
No.
are saying. Would you feel it?
No,
Yeah,
not Poch. Nah.
I don't
doesn't
really
bother
care
me.
to be honest.
Not
Yeah, I
Poch.
don't really care to be honest.
I
Dale.
don't.
I had a chat with Shai about this earlier, and Shai said he would be slightly upset because obviously Chelsea are Chelsea, and I know we dislike them, like everything. But to be honest, I honestly feel if we had the opportunity, we could have got him back. We actually sacked him. Levy
Exactly.
actually got rid of him. I remember those last years, and you could moan about the fact that no away wins for ages and all that palaver, but he also totally didn't get backed in any way whatsoever. And if he, as we've all said, if it was different ownership, I probably would welcome him back. But under the same ownership, there's no point. And if he goes to Chelsea, the only thing I'll be pissed off is the amount of managers we've got from them and won fuck all, and our manager goes to them and starts winning. I don't like that. That circle is not right.
But that's what
Yeah, I
happens,
think-
though, my bro. That's what happens. Like when people leave Spurs, they go and win trophies. So I wouldn't be surprised if Poch left and won a trophy. Oh, it would hurt if it was Champions League, though. If it was Champions League, that'd be nasty.
Mate,
Would
he's
you
got
would
players
you
there.
would you think it's possible that Harry Kane would go to Chelsea if Poch did become the manager there? And if your answer is no, which club do you think he would go, assuming Kane leaves this summer?
No.
It's
If he goes
possible,
to
man.
Chelsea, there's absolutely no way that he's getting that statue outside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If he goes to Man United, maybe he still get it. I mean, I it would be madness for him to go to Chelsea. I just can't see that happening. I can see him going to United, but not
Do you think-
Chelsea.
Do you think it's
Why
I
not
think Levy
leave?
would sell him to Chelsea.
But what if they pay the most amount of money? If Man United say here's 80 million and Chelsea go no, here's 110, because we know their chairman's a lunatic. He spent £95 million on Mudrak.
I think that comes down to whether Levy has got the balls enough to say, no, we are not selling you to a London rival.
Yeah.
Go to United. You're not going to Chelsea, and takes the hit.
Lee,
Listen,
come on, like he's
the
going to
first
get
thing-
120 million quid
Listen.
for him in the last year.
Listen,
Wait, hold on.
You talk
he
so much
might-
sense, Lee. You used to talk so much
up till,
sense. You know?
up till that point.
Levy and
I
money.
just- I know
The
what you're
first thing-
saying. I think maybe there's just a tiny little bit of hope that maybe Levy the penny has finally dropped, and
The thing is,
what he does is the issue, and you can't you can't sell Kane to Chelsea. That would be the most ridiculous thing in the world. I'd let him go to United. You know, my dad's a United supporter, and I think he's wanted in there for years, and he's just been waiting in his chair for that to happen. And I can see that happening. I mean, I don't want it. I'm a Spurs supporter. I don't want to see him to go to Chelsea, but they need it.
yeah,
That's the problem. Listen, boys, Pochettino going to Chelsea, right? Great, fine. Let's just be honest though. Unless they get a striker, what difference is it going to make? The players are still the players. They can't score goals. They can't win games. Pochettino might not make any difference.
But if they had Kane up there, they would.
If they had Kane, exactly.
Have you seen
maybe Levy will put 2 brain cells in his head and go, well, maybe that's not a good idea. But we'll see.
Have you guys seen the stats for the amount of chances Chelsea create? They create a fucking lot of chances. They just don't put it in the back of the net.
Can't put it in the back of the net.
Still must say this too, because a couple of people were talking about, and if you could check the SOFA score before he came to the team, and now he's on the team. Enzo Fernandez is their best player. He's going to solidify that midfield for years. People laugh about how much they pay for Enzo Fernandez. He as bad as Chelsea's doing, he's doing good. So that team, like I said, they will be back. They will be back, and having him being an Argentinian, being linked up with Pochettino, I mean Chelsea's going to be good, and I mean, and if they had Kane, yeah, I mean, I know they lost to Real Madrid. They didn't get humiliated by Real Madrid. It just, they have enough. Basically, they don't have a striker to score goals, but Chelsea's not far off. I'm telling you now, they're not too far off.
Listen, I'm jesting. If he goes, he goes. He goes to Chelsea. He goes to Chelsea.
Fair,
I'd rather it not happen. But someone just put, or maybe someone said, or someone just put in the comments though, would he fit in a Pochettino young Chelsea squad? Listen, the guy, I still don't think he's got that many years. I think his pace is letting him down a little bit, but I think you've got the other younger players to do the pressure, and he can just score the goals. I think he would still work in it.
He's still the second top goal scorer after Haaland.
Exactly. In a squad that can't put 3 passes together, so he's still got it. It don't matter what.
I know.
Yeah. No, I'm going to argue both sides. I'm going to argue both sides. I'm going to say, like, we look at history with Lee, like, and he's got a point. When it came to like Gareth Bale, like Levy was stubborn. He was stubborn. And when it comes to his like release fee, 100 mil, like Levy wasn't budging. He said 100 mil or nothing. And you saw it with Berbatov as well. He was very stubborn, and even Modric as well. Modric was linked with Chelsea. He said, "No, I'm not selling to Chelsea. I'm not selling."
Yeah, but Matic, Kane's got 1 year left in his contract. It's a big difference. Yeah. He goes on a free otherwise.
I know. So I'm going to argue both points, but I'm just trying to help my brother Lee out for a second. I'm just trying to get me before I get to my point, because I'm with you still. But I'm just saying, like, Levy, when he wants to be stubborn, and he has said in the past, I won't sell to a rival. However, my point originally was Poch absolutely loves Kane. And he said it many a times. He said,
that's what I think.
Kane is like a killer. I can't describe it no other way. He's like a shark. There's not many players like him in the world. And he wanted him at PSG, but obviously they were heavily stocked in that area. Now, as you said, Stel, we're looking at, a year left in his contract. Does Levy force his hand and think, I can let him go for free on the next season? Or do I get 100 million for him? Do you know what I mean? And like you said, Bolly and Poch together, look, Poch is going to be like, even Potter even said that he wanted Kane. Potter did say, like, yeah, I would like Kane as a striker. It never happens. And obviously, we're not in the same state as where we are now. We're in a different state. And after that 6-1 drubbing, even Danny Rose was like, he's seen Kane lose it a few times. Like, and he said, this time would be one of the times when Kane's losing his rag. And that's a scary thing, because obviously we're not privy to see what happens behind the scenes. And he said, like, Lloris losing it, yeah, I can see that happening. But Kane doesn't lose it a lot. But when he does, he is quite vocal. And this 6-1 is going to be an embarrassment. It's going to be embarrassment. And we know how much pressure all those pundits have been, like, They've been walking with him like hand
Yeah,
in
they'd
hand.
be selling him again, wouldn't they?
Shearer.
Straight
Yeah,
away now.
they'd be Shearer's be talking with him on BBC, like, yeah, you know, I went to Newcastle, but obviously I won a league. Do you know what I mean? Gary Neville prodding in, say, don't be a Matt Letizia. Don't be like, if he stays at Spurs and he signs a contract, he will win nothing. That cannot be his legacy. And a statue is not enough. As a fan, yeah, but as a football player and a career, he can't want that.
I'll put it out there now, right? I think, and I'm this is my mindset about what's going to happen in the summer. The only way Kane stays, and I think if the reports are true and Nagelsmann does want to come here and he thinks I want this challenge, the only way, literally his first, because he holds all the cards. Nagelsmann holds all the cards if he wants to come here, because he says, look, if I'm coming here, I'm in high demand. You're going to give me this stuff. And the first thing at the top of that is keep Kane. If Kane doesn't stay, I don't think Nagelsmann comes here.
The thing
Simple
is,
as that.
The thing is,
I think that's all what it all revolves around.
The thing is, Lee, as well. Nagelsmann was saying, Nagelsmann was saying, like,
you want some guarantees, isn't it?
Yeah, he wants some guarantees.
Ain't happening, bro.
Listen, if he walks through that door and doesn't do something to get those guarantees, then he's just as big a mug as everyone else, because he holds all of the playing cards.
He'll be gone. Don't get it twisted. He's a diva. I'm telling you.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone in a year if that's what he wants. He'll be gone in a year.
I think
the only reason he'll come is for a free 12 million. Come for 18 months.
Kane will stay. Kane will
12 million,
stay,
leave.
And he'll leave on a free next year. He ain't going nowhere.
No,
Lee,
I disagree, Iggy. I disagree. I'll tell you why. Because
it's fine.
Sorry, JP. Because when Ericsson had 1 year left, we could have signed him for 40 million, and we didn't. And then when it got to January and Ericsson hadn't signed an extension, Levy's like, "Fuck this! I'm not getting 0 for you." He should have sold for 40. Right? I'll sell him. I mean, he went to Inter for 16 or 17 million. So Levy's not going to just let an asset that's worth money go for nothing, right? Forget Doherty. Doherty wasn't worth anything anyway. He dusted him off. But Harry Kane, arguably, is the most expensive player at the club. He's the biggest asset on the accounts. So if Harry Kane doesn't sign a contract extension this summer, I honestly believe Levy's going to have to sell him. He's not going to have a choice. Otherwise, you get to January, you ain't going to get more than 40 mil, 50 mil. So I honestly believe, and this is why I've been saying it, 1 year left on your contract and you are the top player at the club. It's a double fuck up. It's a mess. So, and what makes this even worse, this is happening at a point when the fans are the angriest with you ever. That Harry Kane thing just pushing down on you. I think either Levy has to do what Lee said earlier. Maybe the penny's finally dropped and he has to now change it up. I don't think the penny has dropped. Or he's going to have to sell him for maximum money. But if he does sell Kane, within a week, 2 world-class players have to turn up at Tottenham to take the pain of Kane gone.
No.
So
do you think
none of this last week of the transfer window
shit?
This
I could be wrong, but
this is what's got to change the mentality, because we can't have. He said it himself. Levy said all of the transfers happen in the last week of the fucking window. No, they don't. Stop acting like a fucking salesman who's trying to find a good deal. Start buying players when at the beginning when they're not being snapped up by other people. It's just got. It's just ridiculous.
I'll be honest and say I'm not getting mugged off again. I thought he would change when Conte came in.
So did I.
He ain't changing. Yeah. He ain't changing, bro. He ain't changing, mate. He absolutely ain't changing.
Well, then we're shouting to the wrong person. Then we need to be shouting at Joe Lewis and saying, "God, mate, this guy is not doing anything good for the football club. Yes, he's doing great for the business side of things, but for the football club, he's running it into the ground. Get rid of him and bring in someone that knows football."
The problem is
that absolutely agree. And sorry, just one thing, Murray, really quickly. I just want to get to Lee's thing about Nagelsmann may keep Kane. I actually don't think he will, because I think he's had Jose, he's had Conte there, and they're 2 massive managers, right? And I don't think he'll see Nagelsmann as another one just to stay there for just because he's there. That's like my gut feeling.
I imagine
Listen, any
Nagelsmann on the
manager that
table.
wins anything at Spurs will literally be given the keys to the world, because that's the most
That's
impossible
why I
job
said
on the planet, isn't it?
Do you
Stell
think
can
he wants to
co-sign
stay?
this. I said it 2 months ago before we fired Conte. It was because Alistair Gold put out a report. Alistair Gold has not been putting out some accurate reports the last couple of weeks. He says it's not dependent if Conte stays or goes. From my inside sources, Man United sources, it was if Conte does not stay, that is kind of the final straw because Kane and his camp knows Daniel Levy and the board is the problem. It's not the coaches. He knows Daniel Levy is the problem because they're incompetent. For him to be able to win a trophy, to be on a team that's being built, the problem is Levy and the board. It's not you can get Pep. The way my good mate explained it to me, Pep could have walked in to this club. He will still want to leave because the problem is Lenik. It's Levy that's stopping us from going to potentially winning stuff. And so he said that it would be a miracle if he stays. And I will give you the only scenario that he stays is a risk. I'm gonna say this scenario. It's if the next season, let's just say Nagelsmann comes in, right? And apparently Nagelsmann helps us win, a FA Cup or a FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, right? So he got a trophy with us, and I don't believe it's gonna happen, but we finish at least maybe top 3 or top 2. We do a serious challenge run. Then he sees, okay, there's a potential opportunity to challenge for the title, to maybe win more trophies. We just got a trophy coming in. But realistically, do you think we have the team, even with some improvements with Nagelsmann, for next year to maybe win one of those domestic cups and then challenge for the league? I don't think so. And so that would be the only
I don't think we're far off, Mari. I don't think we're far off with some of the players we've got. Get rid of some of the deadwood, get some players in good positions, and the likes of Son, actually has an informed season. I don't think we're far away to have a squad that could win a cup easily. But
we gotta bring in we gotta bring
anything more than that, though.
We can't be signing Langley and
but that's the thing. We have to clear that shit out. That shit has got to go. Yeah. Simple as that.
It's just we can't do that. And Kane's smart enough to know, that it was like I was saying on Stell's stream the other day. Like, I don't know if Kane has done it, like knocked on Daniel Levy's door, but like, look at the shit that you surrounded me the last 6 or 7 years. Like, look at this. These guys are not good enough, and so it's gonna be interesting. It really is.
It's gonna be mad. Still, we've got 380 odd people watching. How many likes we got? Come on, guys, do the right thing.
We've got quite a lot. We've got quite a lot. That's me saying I don't know.
Well, if you haven't, hit that like. Love you.
261 likes. Let's get it to 300. That'd be nice. 300 would be nice. Make sure you like and follow and smash the subscribe button for Southview Coys, Bob Spur TV, and Alex THFC Box Office. Let's get those guys up as well. I think there's one more thing. Are you guys? Let me ask you a question. I know I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but the protest. Now, there's a protest again this Thursday opposite the club shop, 5:30 p.m. before the Man United game. I've got to say something about this protest. I've been doing these protests for quite a while now. don't really get massive turnouts. We had one semi-decent one, but I think that was us being more excited that we had more than 50 because it got to like 80 or 90, but it's still small. But I've always done the protest because I wanted to keep the message alive, leave you out, Enoch out, leave you out. And now it's escalated. People are now saying, do you know what, them protesters, we might have to join. This week I saw for the first time, and I couldn't believe it, Lee McQueen actually didn't say a bad word on the show about Enoch out, leave you out. He went on Twitter and slammed us, right? But that's because someone, I think, tried to trigger him. But he actually said, look, the Leave You Out, Enoch Out group, the Change for Tottenham group, the Spurs Supporters Trust, they're all now calling for the board to come and speak out. It's the first time he's spoken nicely of us. And that's the protest group. Crackers, he said, look, boycott. If you want to protest, go and do that. We've got to start doing something. So now they're promoting it. Change for Tottenham, who I criticised because they wrote a letter to the board. I'm like, come on, I can't waste my time with letters and emails. This is ridiculous. They have now come out and said, we're going to protest. Link to their website. You can download banners they've made up. You can print them off and hold whatever you want. And they've got like chairman out, sell the club, step aside. We want change. Whatever your message is, they're giving you options. They're now prepared to protest in the stadium. And a lot more people have said, you know what, we're going to get involved with protesting. I actually feel for the first time, whether it's our protest that we do opposite the club shop or another type of protest or inside the stadium, I think more inside the stadium, I think there's going to be a very, very clear message from a lot of fans. I mean, what I can only share with you what I see and what I hear. What are you seeing out there? Because listen, I'm not on Twitter. I haven't been on loads of shows. Like, what are you feeling? What are you guys seeing from what's going on out there? Mario,
you're mute.
Oh, go on, Mari, go on.
Just say the same exact thing. I'm not gonna bring names, but there were people who were on the fence for a long time. Those were staunch Levy in, who are now like that something needs to happen. Daniel Levy must resign. You're seeing it from everybody. People are just like, oh, Levy must resign. Levy must resign. Very few. There are very few. I'm telling maybe one or two people who are saying, "Oh, don't do anything with Levy." But no more saying names. But there are people who are changing their tune and stuff. So I mean, I can name you a whole list of those who are changing their tune. I'm seeing like, wow, because they have hit their breaking point. Some who have said, you know what, protest. Some who are still like, they're not the protest. But the thing is, everybody say Levy must go. He's not a football person. I think a lot of people has hit their breaking point. And so I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen it on the YouTube channels. And I'm happy. Now we want to see action. Now we want to see action. And even the same ones are saying, hey, protest. Go to protest. So I think if there's the protest on Thursday, I don't think there's going to be people pointing and laughing. I think there's going to be people walking by and will be joining along. I just hope there's a banner. What I would like to see, and then I'll let everybody else talk. I saw that. I would like to see a banner and people walk up to the stadium behind that banner, kind of like what Everton did and NBC Sports. I mean, they publicized it. Peacock, NBC Sports.
I think that's planned for the Crystal Palace game, Maury. I think that march or something, that rally, isn't it?
That would work. But if they could do something in the stadium or walk out, in the middle of the game, something that will be like, that will ruffle the feathers big time. Oh, that would be great on Thursday. That would be awesome. February. Yeah, I've seen it. I can name names, but no, there's a lot of people who are singing a different tune. Some of them are giving apologies. You know what? The Enoch out people, they've been persistent. They've never changed. We're giving them credit for it. So, yeah.
I think even if the people who are walking by or whoever just stop, stand, and just kind of like join in for 2 minutes. You don't have to be shouting or anything like that. You can do if you want, but as long as you just stand there in kind of a bit of a collective just to show your frustration, I think kind of like is a good start for now, because not everyone likes to protest or maybe be the center of attention, because so far from what I've seen by going and standing outside the shop, you do get lots of people walking by, you do get lots of people going, oh, look at them, you get people videoing, oh look, there's only a couple of them, there's only a few of them and stuff, but you have to take that, right? It starts somewhere. It starts with 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, etc.
Well, they kept the message alive, JP. They kept
you
the
just have
message
to,
alive. I've always
you
said
just
that.
have to come along, stand there, have a chat with all of us, and
Yeah, I'm not on
Then-
Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know all the I've never ever known all the politics. So I've always come in completely blind to all
Best
of it.
way. Best way,
And,
Ash, mate. Yeah, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
I spoke to Daigle. I think it was FA Cup times. I think it was FA Cup. I think it was
Daigle's balls deep. He's all
Yeah.
in.
I spoke to Daigle and I said, brother, I love what you're doing. I said, listen, I know right now it doesn't feel like much is happening, but trust me, keep going. People can see what you're doing. It's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Because the little murmurs in our community, that conversation that you're screaming about wasn't a conversation before. Now I said TalkSport, I said Sky Sports, even Match of the Day. I said, listen, all the YouTube channels, they're all talking about it. No one can escape from it. No one can escape from it. Now, fast forward, a string of bad results. Bang, bang, bang. Everyone has their breaking point. Little things happening. You've got the director of football in a scandal, putting mud all over the club's name. People trying to defend that, trying to get out of it, like trying to excuse it. But again, the protest is still going on, growing. People still disagreeing with it. And I've come and I said to people, I said, look, it's one thing disagreeing with the language because people weren't happy. They were offended by the language. And I said, at the end of the day, we're all football fans. We're all passionate. Not everyone can articulate themselves in a way where it may not offend people, but we all want the same thing. I went on to a channel and I said to them, I said, look, at the end of the day, when I spoke about the change, Tottenham for change, the Spurs for change, I said, what do they want? Change for Tottenham. I said, what do they want? I don't know the message. I need to know it. I need to understand it. Why is there an email?
What is change? What is change?
Exactly. What is it? What is it? I said, what? Like, I got a bit frustrated. I said, what is it? What are we doing here? Well, one fan base. Why have we got some section saying this and some section saying that when we both want the same thing? It doesn't make no sense. I said, we're all adults here. Like, what is going on? Well, again, I'm not privy to the politics. Do you understand? And I didn't know that people were getting upset by the language and they were associating bad language or abusive language with a movement when really we all want the same thing. Anyway, fast forward again, I've gone on different channels and then all of a sudden, boom, everyone's talking about Palace. That's what I'm hearing. I didn't even know really much. Like I only found out about the protest at the last minute. I don't really know about it like days or weeks. I found out about maybe the day before. That's how I found about it. But I've actually heard about Palace and I've heard about foot people like making protests, getting down there, making a scene. Now I'm in South. I can get to Palace. Do you understand? That's my domain. Do you understand? So when I heard that, I said, yeah, let me call a couple of the boys that are from my way around Palace, from Thornton Heath, Selhurst, that way, Norwood Junction, you know what I'm saying? Pens, all the South lot. I said, raw, you might as well just roll up to Palace and just do the protest thing there. But like now it's being spoken about on the mainstream
media,
YouTube and the mainstream podcast. They're actually, you can't hide from it. And everyone's got the same opinion about Levy. Like, no matter where your stance is, everyone says he's just done a bad job. Like, I think that's the overall thing. Yeah, enough's enough. Enough's enough. especially with the whole backroom staff keeping them on, and then obviously now firing them because it seems like it was a money thing. Because why didn't you do it then? It seems like it was money, all about money. You didn't want to fire them to save his pocket. Do you understand? And now obviously you got caught with your trousers down. You have to pay them out regardless anyway. Now I wonder how much that is. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why he's coming out and apologizing, because he deep down knows that should have been done a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Asthmatic. I think he's apologizing because he's trying to save himself. I think he's trying to now show he has a human side, and that whole Cambridge University thing. I'll never forget it. Those 4 questions the Spurs Supporters Trust asked, and one of the answers at the end of it, he said, "Now come on, get behind the team. You got to get behind the team." The statement today, "We need to earn your support." It's the complete opposite. Yeah. His behavior, he's panicking. I said the other day, I said he's panicking. He's in a panic.
Still, season tickets are due soon, bro.
Yeah, that too. I think he's panicking. And look, when someone's panicking like he is, this is where it gets difficult. Because for some people, they might feel like, do you know what, I feel sorry for him. Or do you know what, look, he is trying. This is when you have to double down. This is when you have to really ramp up. Because they're sending a message and he gives you a little reaction. Then they're sending a message and he fears it. He has to fear that there will be consequence from the customer. Not physical consequence, but mate, we will boycott this shit. We will blow up your contract with the NFL. We will show you this club is nothing without fans. And I think he's now trying to figure out, right, which way do I go with this? He's testing the waters with us, I think. He's in that panic mode.
I think even still, like all these protests that happen currently, obviously outside the ground, but you can also go and do that outside the sponsors, right? Let's go to Niketown, stand outside there with Levy out banners. Let's go to get our kind of like wherever they are, stand outside their head office.
JP, you don't even need to do that. You just go to the Beyonce concert. It's a wrap. You see all the sponsors there? Oh my days! If he's got people protesting outside of all of those concerts, all of those little money-making things, that's going to hurt his contracts and hurt his money. And then the council are going to be like, "Oh, what's going on here? What you want to gentrify? Where with what? Enoch? No, you're not gentrifying.
The NFL games. Oh, if they was, man, I wish the NFL season was going on now. He's lucky the NFL season is going through the first half of the football season, because if the NFL season was going on now, the protests, it would definitely get some attention.
Murray, the worst thing for Levy right now is fans to come together. As soon as fans come together, it's a wrap. Yeah. It's a wrap. When the fans start arguing about Poch and all these little things, Levy, when that dies down and all the fans unite, it's a problem. And that's what he doesn't want. And that's what he's trying to keep down. Because don't worry, we'll be at NFL. We will be at NFL. Whether it's in Christmas or, do you understand? Whether it's summer, like, it doesn't matter. The fans will organize that we're going to protest and we'll get it together properly, I think.
I will say one. I will say
Murray,
one name.
can I do the super chats? Can I do the super chats quickly? Then I'll come to you. Yeah. Which is Anthony THFC. Thank you, brother. Levy made out he built the stadium as a game changer and for the fans. Wake up, Spurs fans. He built the stadium for himself. Sick of his lies. Yep. Avi Spurs, big up to you as well. We are nothing compared to others. Olympiacos shooting fireworks at players and managers. Everton storms out. We do nothing compared to them. Ave, I've got a bit of experience of supporting an overseas team. Europe is a different ballgame because they have no rules. They say they've got rules. There's no rules. But you're right. You're right. We compared to Everton. You're right. Compared to Everton, absolutely.
You're right.
Go on, Murray. Sorry, brother.
I will say one name. She was a major contributor to the cheese room, and I don't think she is on that show anymore because of life changes. Apologize and is joined the movement. Apologize on Twitter. So that was huge. So if that's a clue, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was a major contributor on the.
I'll say it. It must be Shan. Has to be shown.
Yeah. And then
half my grief came from her being Levy in and me being Levy out. But you know what? I can put it all to bed if people like Ash Mack said, if everyone now unites. Listen, I'm all for that. I'm all for that because that's the only way it works.
It's taking time. It's taking time for like, a lot of people. But at some point, they'll be there. You can't go down 5-0 in fucking 18, 19 minutes, man. That's hurtful.
No, man. You can't be set.
That's hurtful.
We've put the assistant to the assistant as manager. Mason is the assistant to the assistant.
Yeah. And Roland for Newcastle.
What next? What next? The kit man.
The ball boy.
The kit man's going to get the job next. Who's
I don't
next?
know.
Ball boy.
Have we got a kit man?
Kendall Rowan.
Yeah, we got kit man. Yeah, for real.
Sacked him. He's gone with Stellini.
No, she's posted it. She's a huge Newcastle supporter, and I think she's on the Football Terrace. Kendall Rowan, I think I'm saying her name correctly. She posted it on Twitter, and that's the thing. Other clubs, yes, they have laughed at us, but right now they're really laughing.
She's another one that turned on me. Another one. I know these names.
Yeah.
What,
the struggle's been hard, man. The struggle's been hard. You have no idea. You have no idea.
But you know what? Still, it's coming. It's coming in now, right?
Yeah, they feel pity for us. They're laughing at us, and then even listen to Lee Gunner today. It's just like, man, you guys, you know, even Sean is now getting. I kid you not.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No way. Look, this is a joke.
Close. He's inching close. He's inching
put a
close.
laughing emoji. Look, I got Sean Butler say leave out earlier. Laughing emoji. Listen. He will never go to that side unless Levy does something really massively immorally wrong kind of thing. He won't do it.
When I spoke to be fair, when I spoke to Sean off air, his problem was more about, because remember, he's been abused by Levy out. So that, I think, is personal with him. And he said, I will never join them. But I think it's more like like I was saying before, he's got a problem with the language. You know, like when people call in like Levy a cancerous cell and cockroach, he didn't want to be associated with that. But
I don't agree with that either, man. Cancer and stuff. No,
I think
I'm
that's
not for that.
When I speak to him, that's his only issue. But in terms of Levy himself, he thinks it's time to move on. He's not a footballer.
Yeah, he wants to be gone.
But like Sean, every time he's on a YouTube channel, he's there like trying to create the debate, because otherwise it's an echo chamber. But when he's on his actual channel himself, by himself, walking his dog, he will just say, look, I think it's time for a change, or do you know what I mean? I think Levy made a mistake on this one, X, Y, X, Y.
Yeah. Ashmatic, we were in a collaboration group, like a YouTube collaboration group. I don't know if you're in it.
No,
were you in that group? Right. There's about 40 of us in there, all the YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And it came to a vote.
Yeah.
Right. This vote didn't go to plan for certain people in the group. It was a big divide. The group just split like that.
Yeah.
50% like, no. We don't want the chairman out. We don't want the chairman gone. And the others were like, no. We want him to step away. Minimum, step out the role. We're not having it. 50-50 split. It was Brexit. It was like, basically, it was Brexit.
Okay.
The way I saw Sean react to that vote being 50-50 and not going the way I believe he wanted. Well, I know which way he wanted it because I saw the votes. Right? We all got to see the votes. The way he reacted, I'm not having it. Nobody's going to convince me he wants Levy out. No, he might want change, as in a new manager, a philosophy, an identity, but he believes Levy's the man to carry that through. And then when I put forward, right, I can meet you halfway. Levy, step aside, stay in the club,
That's right.
be the chairman of the business. I want a completely new board just for football. No one interferes. You set the budget. Here's the money. They sign off on everything. No interference. Wouldn't accept it. Would not accept it. I've got every excuse under the sun. So for me, it's look. This is how I say it. This is just my personal opinion. It's a bit wishy-washy. It's a bit wishy-washy. But listen, you might see it differently, and that's cool. That's cool. I don't know, man.
This is what he told me. I don't know. I'm only going on what people.
But your opinion, your perception might be right.
When he says it to me next, I'm a screen record or I'm a screenshot. I'm screenshotting because he has said it in black and white. in WhatsApp groups. I've seen them say it. So I just need to screenshot and then I'll just send it to you. But look, boom, there it is, black and white. No, I don't think that deep, but obviously, you're right, Davey, but
It's just opinions. It's just opinions at the end of the day as well. It's like,
no, you're right. No, it's true.
But the bottom line is he's pissed off with the football. We're pissed off with the football. Everyone's pissed off with the football. Don't like the way the team are going. Don't like the direction. Another 22 years and right? We all want to be winning. We all want to be boasting to our friends and people that we hang around with and stuff like that. And right now, all we're doing is just taking it left, right, and centre.
I will say this because I saw all the channels yesterday. There's a lot of people who haven't talked to each other a long time. Now they say, "Hey, we need to unite, and demand a change." That was probably the message I heard yesterday throughout all the channels, and even some people who never said it before, who were saying, "Hey, look, we need to stop fighting. I know we have different personalities. I know we have different views, content in, content out, blah, 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 blah. And we've had beefs in the past, but right now, we all love this club. We all agree Levy needs to go." And that person almost lost their voice yesterday. I was watching them yesterday, and it was someone that was saying, "Hey, we need to unite." And it was just, I heard it. But like Stel says, you could talk that talk. Now it's action.
Let's see them outside the Spurs shop.
Yeah, because you can talk all you want, but you have to put it into action. If you want to unite, then put your 2 feet on the concrete, as we say in New York. Put 2 feet on your concrete and start walking. Start the action. But
listen, absolutely, actions speak louder than words. Anthony, with a super chat question, guys. How do you think the fans will react if Poch goes to Chelsea and then Kane goes? Right, Anthony, we've already done this question earlier on, so rewind and watch it. But if you want, put another question in. Don't super chat. Just put another question in, and we'll answer a different question. And Scorpion for Life, Poch said he'd never manage Barca because of Espanyol. Yeah, no, he did. Yeah. Well, maybe Levy's pissed him off enough that he refuses to show loyalty to us. I don't know.
Maybe he meant Arsenal for us, but the thing is, for me, trust me, I hate Arsenal, but I hate Chelsea. I mean, I put them in equal level. Honestly, for me, I know people put Arsenal 1, and then Chelsea 2. I put 1A and 1B. Arsenal, Chelsea.
I think in Spaniel's Barcelona quote, I think he might have looked at Arsenal like that, but because he was ready and open to come, and he was saying, "Look, I'll come. I love the club still. I still want to come." Levy never picked up that phone. Enoch never picked up that phone to make Poch come when he was available. He's like, he's forced his hand. He said, "Look, they don't want me. I don't understand. They don't want me. Why don't they want me?" And then Chelsea are like, "Look, we're going to have all the riches, everything you want.
Young players, quality young players, long-term deals they've all signed. It's there for you to start something and carry it on, right?"
And we got Kings Road as well, looking beautiful. Like, so, do you know what I mean?
Was that a plan?
He's been forced.
Was that a plan, JP? Did Chelsea possibly have a plan? Is that what's tempting him there? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I think even Bournemouth have a plan.
And all those people who laugh at Todd Bowley, if he completes this for Poch, I'm telling you now, people are hoping that I'm gonna hope Poch fails at Chelsea.
That's a done deal, Mari. It's a done deal, mate.
I think
if Nagelman's not in the race anymore and Enrique's not in the race anymore, that's because it's Poch. It's just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. As simple as that.
Enzo Fernandez.
He's going to do a good job with Chelsea. He's going to do a good job with Chelsea. There's not going to be too much laughing at Todd Bowley anymore. I can tell you that.
Enzo Fernandez, they put a bid in. It got rejected. Chelsea just went ham until they got him. I didn't think they were going to spend that much dough on Enzo Fernandez. When they really want someone, they go crazy for him. They pay up. they cough up. Not like Spurs, but I'm just wondering, like, if I don't think. Do you reckon Kane will hand the transfer request in? I don't think he will. I think that's a step too far. But if
I reckon he
if
did it at
Chelsea
half time,
offer-
Ashmatic, on frigging Sunday. I reckon he did it at half time.
yeah, he could have. He could have.
He was like,
But
"No, bro, I don't want to be here anymore."
yeah, no, he could. It could be because he could have questioned it all. But if in the summer Chelsea put down 80 mil, gets rejected, 90 mil rejected, 100 mil rejected, 110, whoo, 120, whoo.
1 year left on his contract.
The thing is, United.
This is the point I was trying to make. Like money talks.
United,
Money.
talks.
Hey, listen, if he goes past that 100 threshold, Levy will be like.
so what's going to happen, Ashmatic? What's going to happen is, I can guarantee you, United, let's say United comes in with 110, Chelsea comes with 120. He's going to go United. He's going to go United. Because Daniel Levy's going to be like, okay, I'm not going to send to our London rivals, but United's going to go after him. They're going to tell
He wants to stay in London, though, Mary.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Murray,
Another
Murray,
young kid.
The history. He understands the history of United. He understands, and he also knows that he's going to get less. Like for me, if he goes to United, I'm not going to be as mad as if he goes to Chelsea. I think Kane, his camp knows, all right, if he goes outside of London, yes, it can be a sacrifice, but for 2 years, he's going to be in Manchester, and he will be able to make the sacrifices. You know, I don't see Daniel Levy, if it's a race between United and Chelsea, even if Chelsea bids more, that he's going to sell to City.
Let me ask you a question. Right? If you were Harry Kane, where would you go if Chelsea, Man United, and Newcastle came in for you, and Daniel Levy agreed all 3 bids? Which club are you going to?
United. Because I don't want any pushback. I still want to be in good graces with the fans, not being in another London rival that people truly hate.
What if Newcastle finish above Man U?
Possibly Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle. You guys know more than me. It's far out in the northeast. You know, Geordie country. You know, and no one truly like. I know some in the fan base that hates United because we lost Berbatov and a couple other people to United. But Newcastle, I don't think anybody will get any pushback. If he goes to Newcastle, okay, went to Newcastle. I don't have a beef against Newcastle. So
I'm going United because I just think about the family situation. I wouldn't want like the death threats and all that type of stuff because yeah, that's a bit nuts. I don't know. Like, you have to kind of think of that. Like, put the family first, and like, if it's just for football and it's just a career and he's looking at it as a job, and you're just gonna do it, you're gonna just knock it out for 2 or 3 years, or maybe 4, and then come home to London with your family, and then I probably just go United, but it's all about the wages, isn't it? As well.
So you're both saying United. What about Lee and JP? If you're Harry Kane, where are you playing?
I don't think the wages come into it. I think, according to reports, Harry Kane very well in there with other things outside of football anyway. I don't think the wages come into it. United could pay the wages. We know United have got the money, although they are more debt than you could ever possibly imagine at one point. But for me personally, I'd choose United over Chelsea just for the rich history of the club, the stadium, that kind of stuff. I think Chelsea isn't the same kind of heritage than United. But that's just me.
I'm going to be horrible and just go Chelsea because personally again, I think that he's got more. Even if you go United, yes, they're building something there. Does he want to go and wait another 2 years to build something? Potentially, they could be better next year. It's probably I see more than likely winning something at Chelsea and him staying in London with his family and stuff like that. Personally, my view is, as much as I hate Chelsea and I live over this side of the pond or like this side of the river. That's all I used to get the last few years. Me and my little Tottenham flag and my Tottenham shirt. But as much as I dislike them in a way, I kind of just feel that they'll be more into trophies with what they're doing, the spending power that they have. If Todd Bowley just almost like Enzo Fernandez, oh, 80 million, no, let's just bang, 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 bang money. I think the quality of players that they've got all round, if Poch can get in there and be the ringmaster, that'll be a place to win stuff.
Stel, where you going?
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to be asked my question.
No, you don't get away with it.
If I go, I want to win trophies.
I'll give you 2 seconds. Hey, but don't worry, we'll get wings back.
Yeah, and the Celso and all on the road on. If I'm Harry Kane, this move has to be about trophies. I don't buy into that he doesn't want to leave London because he was ready to go to Manchester City. So I think he will go if it makes sense. So I'm going to put Chelsea out of it because I don't think they're quite ready for trophies yet. They've got a bit to do. So something Newcastle and Man United, probably United because they've already proven with their manager they can win a trophy. They're in the FA Cup final. And if they get Champions League as well, they're off to a great start with Ten Hag. You know, they're going to spend money. Yeah, probably United. United seems the best chance of trophies right now out of those three, I would say. And they've got the best manager of the three at the moment. Ten Hag's a top manager. He's good. So, yeah, United. But you just don't know how strong that relationship with Poch is. That's what worries me. That Pochettino relationship worries me, you know.
It'll be a call, wouldn't it? It'll be a call to those heartstrings.
Hmm.
Remember Poch's sad little message that he wrote on the board before he on the tactics board. Love you, Harry.
I made you. You owe me.
I've got a photograph of the post-it note. He'd just be texting him that all the time, innit?
Listen, I'm not going to lie. If Kane went Chelsea and he banged it top corner against us, that would hurt. Oh, if he scored like a hat-trick.
I wouldn't even watch the match. I would not watch the Tottenham-Chelsea match if he was at Chelsea. I wouldn't. That would kill it for me.
Whew, that would be horrible.
You know he will. That's the thing, you know he will. Against Eric Dyer as well. He'll nutmeg Dyer because he won't put a tackle in.
He's like, I know what he's going to do.
But Dyer, but what? No, hold on. Like this is the scenario though. He'll nutmeg Dyer while Dyer's running back towards our goal, right? So the ball outpaces him, and then he puts it in the top corner. Job done. Levy just jumps off the top of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're all back to square one. Rebuilding in check. 5 years, we'll be back on top.
Do you reckon that'll push all of the fans over against Anthony Levy?
That's why I don't think. That's why I kind of with Lee at. Like, I don't think Levy would go that far. Like, that's the ultimate. Like, fans would erupt if he ever saw Kane to Chelsea. Fans would be at his door. I mean,
I do think if Real Madrid were to come in, he would go there. I do think that's the one club. Because you look.
Do you think
he wants that?
Do you think he's suited? Do you think he's suited for Spain though? I think he'd be much better suited for someone like Germany, in the type of player that he is.
I think he can play anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say I think he can play anywhere. I think he's elite.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I think he's a top player.
Listen, before we wrap it up, there's
Big
one
up
thing.
Graham.
Big up Graham. Hope you're doing well. He will go to Chelsea on a free. If he goes on a free and to Chelsea, I'm listen.
That would
I'll take a year off Tottenham. I'll take a sabbatical. I couldn't, man. I can't. I'll lose my mind. Where are we going to finish this season? Before we wrap up. So Brighton are now 4 points behind us with 3 games in hand. So that's 9 points. They've got to win them. Liverpool are now 3 points behind us with a game in hand, and we have to go to Anfield. Villa, equal on points with us. Sorry, equal games, 2 points behind us, but we have to go to Villa. United are 6 points ahead. with 2 games in hand, and we play them on Wednesday, so they could go 9, still with 2 games in hand. And Newcastle are also 6 points ahead with 1 game in hand. Realistically, top 4 is looking a bit of a stretch, but it's not out of our grasp. But where do you think we will finish when you look at the current performances and records of the other teams? Right, Ashmate's gone straight 8th.
No, because look, you got to face it. It's been coming. The way we've been playing, 10 men Everton, we got dominated by 10. Like, can you deep that for a second? 10 men Everton destroyed us. Like, they should have won. They should have won that game. You look at the Brighton
Bournemouth,
game.
Mate.
Bournemouth were playing triangles around us. Brighton should have beaten us 4-2 easily. I don't know. Like, VAR was on our side. Like, we've been playing poor for half this season, if not longer. Do you know what I mean? We've been playing poor, piss poor. And the thing is, as well, to top it, if you look at the top teams we got to play top 6 teams compared to the other teams. Aston Villa haven't got to play as many top teams as us. Liverpool don't have to play as many top. Like, out of all the teams that we're fighting against, we have to play Man U, Liverpool, Aston Villa, like Brentford, even Palace, with Roy Hodgson has getting a new manager bounce. He's getting a.
They've won the last 3, isn't they, on the bounce?
Palace 3 and drawn 1.
I know we're at home against Brentford. I know we're home against
Brentford's on a bad run, though. Brentford's on a bad run at the moment. They haven't won in 5.
Nah, but I watched them against Villa. I thought Villa would do them, and I didn't think they were that bad. They weren't that bad. So
they played well
against they were good against them. So I'm saying, and I think, all right, take Brentford out, take Palace out. Look at the next 3 games. I
think Palace will be hard. I agree with you on that one.
I just think because of the run we're gonna go on, it's just gonna make it even worse. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's football sometimes about momentum and how things flow. But the way I'm seeing it, we haven't been playing bad. We're in a bad position off the pitch and on the pitch and behind the scenes. The team is not together. And like we all say, there's no plan because, as I said before I left, there's no identity. When Newcastle were playing us, they pressed together. They dropped together. They knew how to play a back 4. They knew when to counter us. They knew when to play over the top. We went to play over the top, and then they got the ball. They went over the top and scored. It's like, you can't make this up. And we just don't know, like, we don't have the players even for the positions. The 2 in the middle, like, Højbjerg just goes missing. He doesn't really want it. So what he does is he passes backwards and sideways, just a bit like how Winks used to do.
He can't play with Skip. Højbjerg and Skip can't play together. It doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. But when Winks started to lose it and the fan base was getting onto Winks, he keeps passing it sideways and backwards. That's what's happening with Højbjerg. It's like he's lost his confidence. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and then he starts pointing at other players. It's your fault. What are you doing? These times you passed it into Dyer. Dyer did the long ball into Son. Son ain't got the physical ability to hold the ball up. We lose the ball, they score. You see what I'm trying to say? So, and then that was just one occasion. There was one ball when the ball goes back to Dyer. Dyer does a loop and header when really Dyer could have controlled it on his chest, but no one's talking to him to tell him what to do. So he's done a loop and header, and it's come into Sarr. Sarr's first touch is poor, and then that's what leads to the first goal because it goes right into my man. It goes into Joe Linton, and he ends up hitting a shot, and then we're slow to react. Like, it's just a catalogue of errors, and the fact that Lloris, the captain, didn't even want to come out at half time. I'm injured. He got beat. He didn't even move. Pop bins. He's that like ghost just there. Statue of Liberty. He wasn't even moving. It was nuts. I said, wow, I've never seen anything like this before. This is crazy. No pressure on the ball. Go on.
I was gonna say, so you're 100% 8th.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. No, listen. I don't mind listening to that. If you get a chance, Ashmatic, go back and watch the rerun of the video because we did analysis on every goal. We broke it down, explained what we saw. So see if it aligns with what you saw as well.
Yeah.
Right, so Ashmatic's 8th. JP, where do you see us finishing?
Yeah, I reckon 8th, kind of 8th, 9th. Like 9th's even tight, right?
9th
because Fulham's on there with 45, and they've got a game in hand. So I don't know, you got to win it, but that's
They're 8 points behind us.
I can't see us finishing above 8th. Let's put it that way.
Mason.
Because Brighton are
If you were
playing
to
well.
pick, if you were to pick one position for us to finish, if you were to make a bet, where would you put?
8th.
8th. Lee?
Mason.
Do you know what?
Do my army.
I'm going to. I'm not going to say. I'm going to wait until see what happens and who turns up on Thursday.
Rashford.
If someone, Rashford will turn up on Thursday. Yeah, we know that. If the team turns up and there's all an issue with the players not wanting under the management, etc., and they start playing for Mason, maybe I'll change my mind. If they don't turn up, then yeah, I don't think we're going to be anything higher than 8th with the games that are left. I can't. Maybe give you the result out of Brentford or Leeds,
though, right?
Yeah, but top four is just a pipe dream.
I'll go tomorrow last. I'm gonna go 8th for one simple reason. I do not believe for 1 second Ryan Mason has got any hope in hell in the next 5 games of making this team learn how to keep possession of the football. I just don't see it because I know what it takes to build a possession-based team, and it doesn't. You cannot do it in a week or two. It can't be done. So, let alone with these players. So I'm going to go 8th. I'm going to go 8th. I'd like to be proven wrong. So Lee,
yeah, and you have been,
and I have been. Yeah, I wore an Arsenal shirt last year because of it. I'm going to put Lee as 6th for now. So Lee's saying 6th. You're waiting for the Mason bounce, right? You're waiting for the Mason bounce. JP's gone 8th. I've gone 8th. Ashmak's gone 8th. Mari, what do you think? Mason bounce? We're going to get top 4?
We're 8th. We're not beating United. We're not beating Liverpool. We're not beating Villa. We're not beating Crystal Palace. I think the only win that we're going to get is probably Leeds.
Leeds away. That's the last game, isn't it?
That's the last game. So I think we're finishing 8th.
Fighting for survival.
And we're lucky. We're lucky that Fulham is a little bit far back because if Fulham was a little close, I would have them 9th. But I seriously think we're going to finish 8th. I honestly think we're going to finish 8th. I think it's going to be bad. Ryan Mason, it's not going to be a difference. Actually, I think it's going to be worse because I think Ryan Mason is going to try to maybe experiment. As you can see, experiments.
He's going to go to back 4. You think he's going to go to back 4? That would be wow. Lee, do you think he's going to go to back 4 as well?
Do you know what would be funny? He just goes back 3. Conte style. That's it.
Imagine Mason pulls out a 3-4-3 against Man United.
You say a diamond, he's got like a little diamond in the 4. No wing backs.
Look, listen, with the way everything's going, I wouldn't be surprised if we turned up on Thursday night and Danny Rose is playing at left back. To be quite honest with you.
I'll take that. Over Perisic. I love Danny Rose.
Gotta be. Mate, I think Tanganga could play better than Perisic at left back. Jesus.
Yeah, I think Davies is going to come in, you know. I reckon his boy Davies is going to come in.
But he was on the bench, wasn't he? Like from what I heard.
Who, Ben Davies?
Him and Longley were on the bench, weren't they, at the weekend? That's what I heard.
Yeah. Davies has to start left back if we're going to play, man. To not have him is.
Well, he's his buddy, and he's his buddy, so he'll go, "Yeah, I'm back for you, man. I got you back."
Yeah.
Listen, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. We're going for just over 3 hours. I want to say a big thank you to all the super chats tonight. Strasbourg, Steve, Chris, big up. We've got 2 new members, Spurs 72 and Tom. Big up, guys. Alan Sibley, thank you for your generous super chat, brother. Scorpions for life. Strasbourg, Steve, Nita, Ave Spurs with a couple, Anthony as well with a couple, and Scorpions for life again. Guys, thank you so much. Everyone in the comments tonight, big yourselves up. We've tried to cover everything that's happened in the last 6 days. We could probably go for another 2 days covering it. But listen, between now and Thursday, expect a shitload more to happen that we're not ready for. So we'll be doing an emergency stream tomorrow night, Wednesday night, after the game against Man United. Tottenham away, we're back on Friday with our Friday show. Iggy's doing his shows during the week. Will Stewart, we're doing a post-match show on Thursday. Mari will be joining us on this channel after this week, so check that out. Mari's doing a big, fun kind of last show on his channel this week, so make sure you go over and check out
Get
that.
over there.
Bob Spur, he'll be going live every morning as well from the car, so check that out. Alex Box Office, you just got to keep an eye on him because he just does random reboot, reset, respin, reload, remix. All the
notifications.
He's been resetting for the whole year. And South UK's Haas, Marlon, Ashmatic. What are you next on, Ashmatic?
It's going to be Thursday after the game, post-match, United. But yeah, if anything else pops up, then we might just jump on ourselves, if you know how it is with the club.
The tea lady will get sacked tomorrow.
The tea lady, that's it. She'll be what's his name, Ryan's assistant. You can check out Lee on our channel every Monday and whenever he feels like coming on. Otherwise, I think that's it, chaps.
Big up.
Big up.
Come on, you Spurs. I'll always say it.
And remember, Enoch out. See us at the protest. We will be there.
We won't stop.
We won't stop. All right. Take care, guys. Big up.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.